This is the OMFL.
You can't touch this.
And you're in the mix with Kinda Real Name. Here's another OMFL production.
What's up and welcome to Press Pass Live, the draft edition. That's right, it is season 81 draft time, and I am excited to be here with my buddy Maniac. I think we're going to have some more of our friends joining us a little later, but Maniac, it is the draft. It's the most exciting time of the year, not only because Santa Claus is coming, but OMFL Claus is dropping off new draft picks into people's lap tonight. Is this not the most fun that we ever have?
It is. It's the closest thing to Christmas that we could ever offer here on the OMFL, and it's always a blast to listen to the show and to see the guys' excitement getting ready for the next season to happen.
All right, let's just jump right into it. Thank you, Smash and Kevin, for tuning in already. This is the pre-draft show. We're a little late getting started, so we're just going to roll right into it, cover as much as we possibly can. Overall, let's just kind of give your thoughts about the draft. I think this is one of the deepest drafts we've ever had in the OMFL. This is a loaded class from top to bottom. The most blue chippers and red chipper prospects that I have ever seen in a draft. And just some real quality players that are going to really change the landscape of what the OMFL looks like for the good and the bad. And we'll get into that here in just a second. But what are your overall thoughts about the season 82 draft prospects?
Well, I mean, I was kind of the one, I think on the last Press Pass Live, that I was an advocate on the, I thought speed ratings were going down and stuff, and lo and behold, what does the Falcons pick? A 99 speed guy, the first pick, and I'm like, oh my God. There is talent everywhere across the board. Big surprises in the first round. Quarterbacks going nonstop, just flying everywhere. Every team seems like, and but there is talent up and down. I mean, I'm expecting to see some guys to get some extremely good players in the latter round, the third and fourth round, with how deep this draft is.
No, I agree with you. There are some really good players, and yeah, I'm very interested to see how much this shapes the OMFL, and at least those two Rookie of the Year votes is going to be a really good vote because there should be some really good players. Let's jump right into it. Of course, we talked about it on the past shows. We're not going to rehash it, but if you want to hear our thoughts, my thoughts, all about the tanking Falcons, you can go check that out on the last Press Pass Live. But they come up with the first number one pick, and they take a cornerback, Keelan Pyle, 99 speed, 92 acceleration, 72 zone, 84 man coverage, 94 jump. This guy is a superstar stud from the get-go, and he's trying to sell me on the fact that this guy is not going to get to start, but I don't believe it for 1 second. He already has 5 overall cornerbacks, and so he's going to have 3 90-plus cornerbacks by the end of the season, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. But that is what you would call a number one draft pick.
Yeah, I mean the guy is just a stud across the board. I mean, there is no weakness to his game from the core attributes that I see, and if he doesn't start, he's playing slot and he's shutting down every slot receiver in the OMFL. So,
yep, it's going to be really tough. With the number 2 pick, the Eagles took quarterback Joseph Sindstrom. And this is the run of quarterbacks. I was saying this earlier in chat. I've never seen this many quarterbacks go in the first round of any draft here in the OMFL in the 22 history that we've ever had. This is by far a crazy run on quarterbacks that we had in this draft. and this is what kicked it off as the Eagles take Sundstrom. Not a big fan of the pick. Also not a big fan of how he held us up. We are still held up in the second round of our pause draft because our buddy decided to delete his draft board, even though we made sure that he had plenty of time to get that number 1 pick in. But that's a rant for a later time. What do you think about Sundstrom?
I mean, it's a decent pick, but I mean, there's already proven that there were some other guys I thought that were a little bit better. I mean, coming in with an 89 arm strength, I mean, it's not bad, but there were some elite guys that were available to him that he passed up on. So I don't know exactly what he saw in this guy, with his attributes or what made him think that this guy was going to be the best quarterback. But we'll see what happens as the season progresses.
Yeah, Sundstrom on my board, my just like personal board that I had made, was not even in my top 6 quarterbacks that I had. Was the number 1 rated quarterback, though, on the Madden draft board. Let's hurry up and speed this up just a little bit. We're never going to get through it. The number 3 pick, another superstar cornerback, goes to the Seattle Seahawks. 95 speed, 97 acceleration, just a superstar stud. Jacoby Gardner, he goes over to Seattle with the number 3 pick. Just stop me whenever we get to a player that you want to talk about, and we'll let you give some thoughts here. With the number 4 pick, Cole Christie, the second quarterback off the board, goes over to the Buffalo Bills. They got rid of Josh Allen. I'm not quite sure why. That guy was a really good player. I tried to get my hands on him, but they felt like they needed to go a different direction, and they got their quarterback for the future in Cole Christie. The Dallas Cowboys take right in Corey Lyon. Or Lynn, I don't know. Lion, I'm going to go with. Another one of these crazy things that happened in the OMFL with the Seahawks and the Cowboys picks in these top 5 here, where low teams that did not win, gave away their first-round picks for older, aging talent. And, it kind of drives me a little insane. I don't know why you would give top good players really high picks there, but it tends to be a thing here in the OMFL sometimes. The Green Bay... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I don't understand. Those guys that gave up those picks obviously thought they were going to make a run for something deep, and it didn't happen. Which the Cowboys really needed to get a defensive end since Mo stole Demarcus Lawrence. I'm sorry, out of a free agency basically, and this was a good pick for him. So.
Yep, that brings up the Green Bay Packers, and he does not disappoint us. He takes Marcus Johns, a halfback. Surprise, surprise. He loves his halfbacks. A power back, 90 speed, 85 acceleration. It's hard to say. I think these guys are taking photos with Abraham Lincoln's photographer because these are some of the worst photos I've ever seen in my life. But looks to be a power back. Doesn't usually fit his system, but he loves his running backs there in Green Bay. 7th pick, the Washington Redskins take defensive tackle Lawrence Pointer. The Chargers with the 8th pick. I think I got off picks here pretty soon, but Parker Portatelli taken to the Chargers, a really good player there as they try to rebuild with an aging quarterback leaving. The Baltimore Ravens are starting to rebuild some of that team there. They taken the 9th pick, Curtis Muhammad. The quarterback, another quarterback, goes to the L.A. Rams. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. With the 10th pick, Salik Henry, he goes over to the Rams. Jabari Thurman goes over to the Arizona Cardinals with the 11th pick. 12th pick, the Eagles take a wide receiver, one of the better receivers. He's a short little fella, but he's super fast. 95 speed, 98 acceleration. Preston Easlick. Left tackle Marcus McCain, the first offensive lineman taken off the board, goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Right tackle Darian Spaeth, the guy I had it rated as my number 1 offensive lineman. He goes over to the New York Jets, and that guy is a stud. 93 strength, 83 run or pass block, 86 run, or no, it's the other way. 83 run, 86 pass. This guy is going to be a superstar. Really going to help that Jets offensive line.
Yeah, he's a stud.
15th pick, George or Jorge, whatever, Carpenter strong safety, one of the first strong safeties off the board. Super fast, big hitter. He's going to really Outlaw now has moved over to the Texans. He's really starting to build that defense back around what he enjoyed to do it in Chicago, and that was around the safety position. He really is influenced by Dwayne in that manner. Dwayne loves his safeties, builds his defense around his safeties. Outlaw is definitely taking a page out of that book, and this is a pretty good one to start with.
Yeah, this pick is a really good one for Outlaw. This being his first draft as a Texans owner, and like you said, it fits a Dwayne mold. It's like super fast. He's got really good zone coverage, tackle ability, and then but the all most important, the hit power. So 84 hit power. So that's a Dwayne guy, and I look forward Outlaw to make him a really solidified position in that defense.
With the 16th pick, the Washington Redskins take outside linebacker Terrell Pryor. Thanks. I just want to pause real quick. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We got 17 people watching already, so a big cohort of people already talking and chatting and watching the show. With the 17th pick, the Bears take Cheek. I think he's a defensive tackle. Yeah. Defensive tackle Cheek, so they are trying to load up front. The Ravens with their player. Let me get up because there was a couple. There was like a pause there overnight. That's a retweet. Let's get. Here we go. 18th pick, Harris Victorian, strong safety, goes over to the Cleveland Browns. Again, another owner who's known for his defense. But it's interesting to see how they build this defense around the safety position. What do you think about this Browns pick here?
Well, with Chaotic and stuff, he had a really good safety, and I had the guy's name, and it just left my tongue, from Michigan, and he traded him to Double Null, and I'm not sure exactly if he got draft picks for him or not, but then he turns around and he drafts this guy, which is a stud as well. So I think
Peppers, that's his name.
Peppers, there you go. And Peppers is a really good Madden player. He's got a lot of good speed and stuff. And this guy, I think, maybe Chaotic, seeing that facing those the Cincinnati Bengals, lighting up that secondary, in the middle of the field with that zone, and he's seen that need, and he decided to go ahead and address it here, Victorian.
The New York Giants find their quarterback of the future, quarterback Chase Leach. Pretty good player there, going to the New York Giants. The Lions follow back with another quarterback? Yeah, quarterback Tate Hazelton. So a lot of teams with aging quarterbacks here, cutting salary, having players retired. And this is definitely going to be a new crop of quarterbacks coming into the league. The Patriots take, I can't hardly see this. I'm trying to remember what it was. Middle linebacker, Sean Ellsworth. He wasn't around for that pick, so I took a photo for him. With the 22nd pick, the Saints take right tackle Lane Warren. And again, another stud offensive lineman. And what I think is so funny about him, 80 speed. That's right, baby, 80 speed. We're going to chase down those middle linebackers in Tampa Bay. Over in Jacksonville, they take another offensive lineman, right guard Quentin Fields. A really, really good player, going to help that Jaguars offensive line right there up front. With the 24th pick, your guy, let's hear about him. Right outside linebacker, Louis Cesse. What'd you think about Mr. Cesse?
Well, I mean, with my draft board and stuff, obviously I've got a little bit of a weakness on the right side of my offensive line. And, of course, the two picks right before were 1 and 2 for me at that point in time with Warren and also Fields. And he was the best available on my board, and I saw that he had really good stats from the combine and stuff, and I said, let's roll the dice, let's solidify the linebacker core for the Bucs for the next four seasons, and he didn't disappoint. 88 speed, 86 acceleration. He's already like 75 zone coverage. Just an absolute beast, and he also has a little bit of pass rush to him, so. He's kind of a tweener, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him in a couple seasons.
And with 8 minutes left to go before the draft starts, the Eagles make their pick. Thank you, my friend, for holding us up all day long and 8 minutes before. But anyway, he got his pick in, so we can all move on with our lives. The Tennessee Titans take Rashad Hood, a right guard. Not nearly, I think it's a right guard. Yeah. Not nearly as strong as some of these other guys, but overall a good finesse player. Denver Broncos take Joey Birch, middle linebacker. The oh no, that's the Jets. We already had that one. Cornerback Martin Compton goes over to the Jets to kind of help replenish that defense. The Dolphins take defensive tackle Griffin Joseph, I should say. Easy for me to say, and to help rebuild that defensive front end. The Chargers with another pick here, left tackle Rashad Staten, another strong bull of a man. These the top quarterbacks are all gone if you need a quarterback, and the top offensive linemen are all gone. Definitely a run on both of those on both ends. And as we got close to wrapping up round number 1, wide receiver Javier Edwards goes over to the Seattle Seahawks, 95 speed, 97 acceleration. Probably top 1 or 2 receivers in this draft. In some way, somehow, the OMFL let it go to one of the best players that we have in the league to help rebuild that offense. So just a crazy, crazy time going on here. Then the Tennessee Titans take defensive tackle Daniel Hubert. Really starting to get a pass rush there in Tennessee. And then finally, we wrap up round 1 and get the first pick of round 2 done. That's right. The Atlanta Falcons have completely rebuilt their roster in just one draft and just 3 picks, really. That's what tanking will get you. 95 speed, 96 acceleration, 79 catch, 77 route running, deep and medium, 74 spectacular, 88 release. Just a superstar of a receiver, 74 overall. And then he follows that up with the next pick, quarterback Sullivan. He has 92 throwing power, 88 throwing deep, short, 82 medium, and 78 deep. He could start right away for this team. All 3 of these players could start right away. And that is where we are right now here in the season 82 OMFL draft. So Falcons definitely putting up an A++ with their draft so far. But what were your overall thoughts about round 1 and the start of round 2?
Again, the factor of so many quarterbacks going off the board, and I'm one. I'm needing a quarterback. I actually went all out for a couple of quarterbacks in free agency. I missed out on them, and they got a little too rich for my blood, so I backed out. But I was all like, you know what? This draft is deep. I'll be able to get a quarterback. At least probably the 3rd round. But pick again, buddy, because they're all gone. And but I think that's probably the biggest thing that happened in this draft. And then also with the Falcons just totally dominating with agility. I mean, if their 2 picks on the cornerback and the wide receiver both having just phenomenal speed. So it's going to be interesting in the South.
Yep. We have the Steelers, who I'm about to skip. Buffalo, who I think I skip, right?
Let's see. I got another message too. So as of right now, we got the Steelers, Packers, Cardinals, and Patriots that are being skipped. So
we're going to get it over to Buffalo, let a couple of guys get a little run on picks here, and then we'll catch up. I advance to the next pick, okay? I am going to give my kind of top board left, just like a quick rundown before we take a small, short break. I got the 2 more quarterbacks that I think are pretty good on the board. Another 8 halfbacks. There has not been a run on halfbacks. I like all the fullbacks in this draft. Where we got another 6, 7 receivers that I think are really good playmakers. No run on tight ends just yet. I think there's at least 5 players there that I like. Another 2, 3, 4 offensive linemen that I think could be really good star playmakers. A good 3 defensive linemen that are left out there that I really like. Hasn't been a big run on outside or inside any linebacker, really. I think there's a good 7, 8 players out there that are pretty good. Not a deep run on cornerback either, which is surprising because there are a good 11 players out there that I think could still play really good football. And then mostly I think it's a super good draft for strong safety, not so much for free safety. I think there's plenty of good safeties. If you need a kicker, though, you better get one early because there's not that many great kickers in this draft. And that's going to catch us up. So it looks like we're getting a little run right here on some draft picks, which is really, really good. We'll get those in. We're going to take like a 2-minute break just to kind of get some water in me, catch up the draft where we're at, and then we're going to get right over back into it and get this draft going live in 3 minutes. So, Mr. Maniac, stay put. We'll take a little break, and we'll come back in 3 minutes.
You got it.
All right, friends, we are live, and season 82 draft is well underway. Maniac, can you help catch me? I think we had like 3 picks go here really quick. I see halfback Joey Martin goes over to the Seattle Seahawks. He's really starting to rebuild that team to look like his Madden 18 team, but I missed the ones before that. If somebody can help me catch out.
Skins drafted right tackle Parker Watson, and the Chargers drafted defensive tackle Glen Waller.
Mr. Waller. Glen Waller, yeah, my 6th ranked defensive lineman, 315, 6'4" out of Temple, a run stopper of a guy. You guys are going to hear, it sounds like somebody's breaking into my house, or it's just my wife trying to take a bath, I think, so you have to excuse all the noise. Joey Martin, though, goes over to the Seattle Seahawks. Let's see what I got on Mr. Martin. He was my 5th ranked halfback in the draft from Wisconsin, a power running back. So he's going to be a big back, and that's really going to fit what he wants to do. And I am being kicked out of my own room. So I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to let you two take over because Dwayne did join us here. So Dwayne is with us. It's going to take me like 4 or 5 minutes to move into the front room, but I'll be able to draft live right there from the PlayStation, not have so much lag. So I'll mute myself before my wife hits me with a PUBG pan, and we'll move on to the front. So I will be right back.
Of course, Joey Martin was superstar Dev.
Oh my God!
He has some pretty good. He's a power back. 90 trucking, 83 speed, 86 excel, 92 carry. I mean, he's solid, really good short down back. And super.
Yeah.
Storm brewing in Seattle.
Yeah, I think you actually started a trend there with Bowl and being able to run those short yardage, because I noticed, I think a lot of guys are going to be going kind of leaning that way and stuff. So, and then the Rams take right guard Kirby Schroeder. He's a 75 overall guy, not too shabby. I don't know exactly what his stats look like, but he's a 75 overall guy, so that's a decent pick there for the Rams.
Yeah, he was the number 5 guard right guard on the board. Now I will say this, guys, to you power back, new to the power back lovers, it can be a very, very stressful, frustrating way to play sometimes. So if you just got to be in for the long haul if you're going to run with a power back. I'm sure Maniac can speak volumes that it helps a lot if you have a speed back to counter that and help that. With Jones, I can just only imagine Jones and Scarborough on the same team.
Oh, the Thunder with that one.
That guy right there from Seattle, man, looks sharp. I mean, like I said, he'll fit most system. He'll be an early down back. He's not somebody that's probably just going, because I mean, literally everybody on the defense except maybe defensive tackles can chase him down. But he's a really solid pick. I'm really anxious to see the guy who just picked that guy before that?
The Rams, the
Rams,
guard.
Anxious to see him pop up. And you got A.C. Gordon, defensive tackle, Stanford. Let's see what I can pull up here on him.
Yeah, we're kind of having a run on big men right now. Big running backs, big linemen. All the big men are coming off.
He was your 5th ranked defensive tackle on the board, 6'5", 297, 23 years old, from Stanford. He ran a 4.77 in the 40, 27 on a bench press, which is kind of, I hate to, it's probably on the middle to bottom side of defensive tackles, but he is a quicker defensive tackle. He's bigger, but he kind of reminds me of a Jay Ratliff build. He's a little bit quicker, not necessarily the strongest guy on the field, but he will be quick. But this guy's should be a quick guy at 6'5", 300 pounds, man. That's a I'm glad Nate's not my dad.
No, Daddy, no.
That's right.
The draft's going on.
Maniac and Dwayne hear domestic violence but say nothing. We got 40 seconds here on Jay Bowles to make his pick. Interesting to see what he does here. Like I said, last year, in my opinion, I'm sure he felt the same way. It was kind of disappointment. I actually felt like the Raiders, that was his division to lose. And it's safe to say the Broncos took it from him. So it'll be awfully interesting to see how he rebuilds this draft. Dawson just posted a picture of Parker Watson, 82 strength, 74 run block, 80 pass block. He does look like he's more of a pass blocking guy. All his pass blocking's in green. Solid guy. Looks more I don't see his speed. Dawson didn't post any speed on him, but he almost looks like he's more of like a pulling guard rather than a right tackle.
Yeah.
I didn't see any dev on him, but I'm sure Dawson will find a way. He in the same way. I'm not necessarily saying Dawson wants to go the power back route, but Dawson, as he stated in the board chat earlier, he wants to go to the KISS philosophy and run the ball and keep it simple and just play good, hard-nosed football. And that's a good way to do it. You got to invest in your offensive line.
Hey, and Raiders just selected outside linebacker Shawn Rush. 77 overall. I'm kind of curious what his speed was. He was on my board too.
Go ahead, Maniac.
No. I was going to say I'm not sure exactly what his.
I'm kind of curious with him. He's 6'2", 260. He's 24 years old, but he does have some good attributes, at least from the scouting department. He did run almost a 5 flat in the 40, but he's 35 on the bench press. Man, that's a stout linebacker, maybe like an old school run stopping guy.
Yeah, that may be what he does there with him, because I know I was going for a little bit more of a athletic linebacker. That seems like kind of my style there in Tampa. But yeah, the players are coming off the board.
All right, boys. I'm I'm back. Can anybody, I know this is going to be a pain, but can anybody catch me up with what I have missed? I think I left off with the Seattle Seahawks halfback. I just need to update my board so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm there. Do you want me to go ahead and do that?
Yeah. Just don't go too fast because I got to find them.
That's what she said.
Oh, there it is. Our first, that's what she said. I like it.
All right. After the Seahawks, the Rams drafted right guard Kirby Schroeder.
Good pick. He was my 10th rated offensive line on the board. All right.
And Cardinals drafted defensive tackle A.C. Gordon.
Mr. Gordon. All righty. Next one.
Raiders selected outside linebacker Shawn Rush.
Mr. Rush. All right. Mr. Shawn Rush. Got him.
All right. And the Chiefs drafted cornerback Morgan Hinton.
All right. Got him, my third best cornerback on the draft. I'd love to hear about him later.
And then the Jets drafted defensive tackle Don Bushrod.
Mr. Don Bushrod. And that catches us up to where we are now with the Vikings.
And that has not come up yet. Okay. Yeah, it's on the screen. And it already disappeared. Guys are picking quick. Let's see.
Francis Collier going over to the Bears. He's my 6th ranked cornerback. 208, 21 years old from UAB. A zone guy. Should be pretty decent speed. Not going to be a burner like those first couple of guys that went off the board. But probably like low 90s. Should be, fairly strong. Did 18 on the bench press. Overall going to be more of a press in your face playoff zone. But should be a pretty good player there for the Bears. Do we know anything about what was it? Offensive line? Who was the guy I said I want to hear more about? No, it wasn't offensive line. It was.
Was it the cornerback?
That's what it was. It was the cornerback. That's right. They went to Kansas City. Morgan Hinton. I had him, or Hinton. I'm sorry, a 6-foot guy. 214, 22 out of Clemson, another zone guy, but not too bad in man coverage. The problem with him is he ran a 4.55 at the combine, so he's not going to do that really, really well. Only did 17 on the bench press. I do think he's a blue chipper. Maybe think in the vein of what's the guy? Jenkins in real life that went from Ohio to the Saints, now plays for Philadelphia. That type of player, a guy that could probably be moved to safety because of his speed, going to be a thumper, going to come up there, going to be able to do everything really well. And if they stick him in man, he should be able to guard those tight ends pretty good.
Yeah, I think he posted a screenshot, 89 speed for him, 87 acceleration, 80 man, 86 zone. So that's a really good zone coverage. 76 play recognition. And 85 press. So, I mean, he's definitely got the mold for a safety, free safety.
And star dev.
Yeah, that's super crazy. Outside linebacker, Dixon Robertson goes over to the Kansas City Chiefs. Supposed to go in the 3rd round, but he goes here early in the 2nd for Pittsburgh. 240, a tackling machine, really good at getting off of blocks. He's got to do that a little bit better here. The problem, again, though, is going to be his speed. Probably going to need to move to a 3-4 pass rusher, maybe a defensive end in a 4-3, because he only did a 4.95 in the 40, but 34 on the bench press. Easily a guy that can move over to outside linebacker in a 3-4 defensive end on a 4-3.
Yeah, he has some really, really unique stats. You're talking about that rush at 88 acceleration. He was only 72 speed, but 80 acceleration, 83 block shed, 90 strength at linebacker, 84 pursuit. You're talking about just an old school, like you said, old school run stopper or outside in a 3-4 scheme. Worst case, he could, with some work, he could be just a traditional outside, a defensive end in a 4-3 with a little bit of work. But that's a very uniquely shaped guy. I don't know. That's a very odd deal, but it's really intriguing.
I just realized that we set up Discord to where we could not take calls. So here's what we're going to do. Just very quickly, I'm going to hang up this call. We're going to hop into just the voice chat. Anyone who comes in there, you're more than welcome to come in there and listen. Just make sure that you're muted. I will try to, if you don't mute it, I'll have to mute you. But that'll be really the only way that we can take calls. So we'll do that really quick. You won't hear anything different from me, but the two guys are going to take them a second. So we're all going to hop in over there real quick so that we can make sure that we are part of that. I'm here, Dwayne. Do I see you?
I'm here, Kimosabe.
There we go. Kimosabe, he is here. And so we should all be back. Maniac should join us here in just a second. Did we get another superstar in Andre Nails? Do we know?
Andre Nails.
Middle linebacker that just went to the Seattle Seahawks. I don't love the pick. Little bit of an abnormal pick for him to get a slower middle linebacker, but maybe he wants to move him to I think he runs a 4-3, so maybe he wants to move him defensive end. I'm not sure.
He's posting some stuff on him right now. He was a quick dev, 83 speed, 80 acceleration, 86 tackle, 88 pursuit. Man, he's a solid linebacker. Like I said, he is on the slower side per se, but he wouldn't be a bad middle linebacker. Good run stopping, field general type player.
Desmond Claiborne for the New York Giants. Their pick left guard out of Oregon State. 332, 6'4", an agile type of guy. Don't love this pick. Probably the best rated left guard, but wasn't on my top 10 list. He did do 29 in the bench press. More of a lead blocker, kind of like finesse type blocker. That's kind of going to be his vein of things. But he's definitely going to probably need some work. Kobe Harvey goes over to the Detroit Lions. 6'1", 230, 23 out of Louisville. Another power back. That's really this draft had is a ton of power backs, which is fine. I mean, I think that Dwayne proved that you can still win with a power back. He ran a 4.53 40, did 24 in the bench press. Not a bad pick there for the Detroit Lions as they try to rebuild that offense. They got their quarterback early, got their running back. I know that we can skip the Patriots pick, but I'm actually going to let that go. I'm going to let you guys start to talk, and I'm going to figure out what my draft pick's going to be.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Let me look back at what's I'm kind of mixed up on what's coming off the board right now myself. Look like we had a little bit of run on the linebackers
Yes.
far, a little bit.
Some people picking some linebackers, especially like I said, that one for the Raiders and the one the Seahawks just picked are kind of similar molds. I'm telling you, the one the Raiders picked, man, reminds me of like a James Harrison or I can't remember the other guy who's played for the Steelers who was just, I mean, he's like a defensive end and linebacker. Really old school. I promise you probably don't want to match him up in coverage, tight end against, Howard for your Bucks. But as long as he's running back or quarterback, he should be all right. I do think it is interesting to see some of these guys going after certain players. We were talking about. I jumped on late when y'all were talking about the first couple picks and seeing the Bills go after that quick running back or quick quarterback. His very first pick. I think his name. What was he picked? Was it Christie? Was that who he picked?
I believe that's correct. I'm trying to pull up.
And the hot rumor on the thing is that he is trying to go towards a read option, triple option offense, and it ought to be interesting to see how that translates over. Which I for one run a few option plays in my offense, very risky but very high reward too. And I imagine if somebody could get that down, it'd be a very effective offense. It'd be interesting to watch. I would love to watch your first game to see how that translates to Madden, honestly.
Cole Christie, that's the quarterback's name.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I took right tackle Moses Terry. I'm really having to rebuild this offensive line. A little bit of a project, but a guy that I had high hopes for. I don't know. He's a normal dev, which is going to not be all that great. 85 strength is not great. 78 run block, 77 pass block, 76 run block power, 82 run block finesse. So just a finesse blocker. Don't love the pick, but he was my highest rated offensive linemen left on the board, and yeah, I needed to make that run. I do like that quarterback though that the Patriots picked. Now it was a CPU pick, but he was rated my 6th best quarterback on the board. I'm sorry, my 5th best quarterback on the board, the best available quarterback. So not a bad pick there for the Patriots. I'm not sure who they have at quarterback. My assumption is that they needed some help there, but we are already at pick 32 here in the 2nd round.
I think, didn't he pick a quarterback last off season early?
Yeah, he did. He's a southpaw quarterback.
So you never know. He might, like I said, he might have been leaning towards. I know, some people are funny about that left-handed quarterback. They really don't like it. To each their own in that aspect. But that could be it. That could be part of the Patriots solution for the post-Tom Brady era.
Left tackle Roy Francis goes over to the Seattle Seahawks. 6'6", 308 out of Rhode Island. More of a pass protector guy. He's going to be finesse with some power. He's going to do the pass stuff really, really well. Really will protect that left side, that blind side of whoever is playing quarterback. He's got like 50 quarterbacks there in Seattle. Not going to be the strongest guy in the world, but he should be okay. Not going to be a great run blocker. Really going to have to work on his technique with the run blocking, but should do just fine blocking the blind side of whoever is playing quarterback there in Seattle. I'd love to hear if he posts a picture. I see messages and stuff, but I cannot keep up with Discord. Here it is. I just glanced. 85 strength, 72 run block, 83 pass block, 68 run block power, 73 run block finesse. So, yeah, exactly what we thought he'd be. A normal development guy, so it's going to be a little tough to get him ready to be like a whole rounded player, but definitely a possibility there for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, it's definitely a good guy that he can build. We all know Mo's pretty good at building those guys up, so it'll be interesting to see.
Daniel Lopez goes here to the Tennessee Titans. I had him as a red chipper, not on my top 10 in outside linebackers. A field general guy, 22 years old, 250 pounds, 5'11", out of Vanderbilt. Going to be a tackling machine. Needs to do some work in his zone coverage. Won't be a super speedster, but did do 22 in the bench press. Overall, it should fit his team just pretty well. Not going to be maybe a day one starter, but definitely some added depth there.
Go ahead, man. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, he just posted a photo. He does have 81 speed.
Oh, nice.
So,
but in this Madden, though, 81 speed is the old 78, right? Like, it's kind of the average. That 80 to 81 to 82, like, you're going to find a buttload of linebackers that even like 4 Maddens ago you would have never found. Like an 81 speed linebacker in like Madden 14, right, was like a superstar. Like it was like you could barely find those, but a little bit more common in the athletic Madden that we have now. We're at pick 26 here in the 2nd round. I misread. My next pick is the 32nd pick. So we're at pick 26, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I think if you look at that Daniel Lopez, he's more of I keep repeating that tonight, but an old school linebacker. He is somebody, I think he's going to be your middle linebacker or a short down and distance outside linebacker. Somebody you're going to have somebody over the top of because, like I was saying earlier, somebody like Howard for the Bucks or, Eifert, or if he gets matched up on a tight end like that, man, you can get exposed real quick when you're 79 XL, 81 speed.
Outside linebacker, Hunter Alfred, a guy that I think has some potential. He did not make my top 10 list for my outside linebackers, but definitely a blue chipper. The reason he didn't is because he ran a 4.89 40, so probably going to be like 78 speed, but a hit and power machine. He would fit
right.
D. Wayne's defensive strategies just fine. A big hit and power guy, great power moves, a great tackler. Did 23 on the bench press, 6'4", 228 out of Southern Arkansas. D. Wayne, how did you let this guy slip between your fingers?
Well, I hadn't any picks yet, but I did have him marked. I'd actually told Dawson about him last night. I said we got a homegrown boy who likes to knock people's heads off. And I was curious, but of course he goes to one of my rivals, Cincy, if you're listening. I'm kind of jealous. I'm not going to lie to you.
Right guard Buck Grunhard. 3'14", 22 years old, 6'5", out of Minnesota, goes to the Denver Broncos. Going to be more of a pass protector type of player. I don't love this pick. I think it's way too early for him. I think there's better offensive linemen out of there. 25 on the bench press. So, yeah, just nothing spectacular. I hope it works out for him. I don't want anybody to have a bad draft, but I don't love this pick. That brings us up to the San Francisco 49ers, the Miami Dolphins, the Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys, then back to my Saints, and then we're at the top of round 3 with the Falcons and the Eagles once again.
All right, with the 49ers, I'm sorry. The 49ers, he is working until 9:30, so I'm not sure if that's Eastern time, Central time.
Yeah, I wish guys would just answer the question. Hey, are you going to be at the draft? I work till 9:30. But that doesn't answer my question. I don't know that. Like, why are you making me do math and find out where you are on the map and just tell me if you're going to be here or not. But San Francisco 49ers, back-to-back NFC Championship games, falls to the Dallas Cowboys, but still had a spectacular season. Great defense. I think he's going to go offense here. I hope he has his draft board set up. I would assume he's probably going to need maybe a quarterback. I know there's not anybody left. Maybe halfback, maybe receiver. That's where I would go, one of those positions.
I would be curious to see if he goes receiver because he did let go of A.G. Green, but he went
middle linebacker. Yeah, that one is interesting. Willis Walton, middle linebacker, a red chipper. Did not have him on my top 10 list. Was rated to go middle second round, so he gets good value here. 6'1", 255, 23 years old, out of Army. Going to be a run stopper, big thumper. Again, the D. Wayne style of player. To 24 in the bench press. The problem is he ran a 4.86 40, and that's going to make it really difficult to cover tight ends in this league, halfbacks in this league, or even to play those deep zones that we know the San Francisco 49ers like to run. It's going to be really hard for him to find the field because of that.
Yeah, he'll be. I guess like I said earlier, he'll be a special package guy. He'll be a situational guy on a run-oriented down because, like I said, if he gets matched up with the wrong person, and some of these guys are really good at finding those bad matchups. And if he sees he gets stuck on a running back, he gets stuck on a Sproles or a Jones from Tampa Bay, or somebody like that, and then you just gave up 7 points. So you have to really watch when you get somebody who is on that lower end of the speed spectrum like that. But like I said, Big Herb, man, he does run one hell of a defense in San Francisco. I'm sure he'll find a place to put him at, even though he will have to sit out 2 seasons for his Army commitment.
It does bring up the Miami Dolphins. Our newest board member, Mr. Kevin, already doing a spectacular job, and super excited about adding him. He went wide receiver out of UAB, Tavarius Day. Let me see what I can find out on Mr. Day here.
Big receiver.
Big guy.
Tavarius Day, 6'5", 22 years old, out of UAB, a possession guy. Gonna do the short stuff really well, kind of a red zone threat type of player. Did 21 in the bench press, but ran a 4.62 40. Did 4.18 in the 3 cones. So he's quick. He's much quicker than he is fast. But a big target there for the Miami Dolphins, who found their franchise quarterback last draft, drove them all the way to the AFC Championship. And so we're looking for more of the same for them because truly he has his quarterback of the future. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers. Do we think that he goes with his 10th running back of the offseason? I forgot I could skip him. Right? Yeah, he's at work.
Yes.
Leaving me hanging here. Strong safety, Russell Marshall, out of Central Michigan.
So it's
no, you're good.
Clinton Dix's replacement. Sorry, I had to mix me another drink.
He was my 7th rated strong safety, or safety, I should say, a zone guy out of Central Michigan, 196, 5'11". zone guy, a good in pursuit, decent power hitter, ran a 4.69 40, which is, top 5 in the safety position. Did 22 on the bench press, which I do like. So a good pick there for them. I'm going to go silent again, and I'm going to let you guys do the
Saints are now on the clock.
Nolan Nash. Center.
Nolan Nash.
Let's see what we got on him. Nolan Nash. He was the number 1 center on the board. 6'3", 320, Northern Illinois. Pretty solid, 35 on the bench press, which I think was the highest of all centers. He did run a 4.9. Maybe he's looking to enforce that offensive line, which me and Maniac, of course, would know that at this point it's probably getting up in age, with Frederick and Smith and even Martin, who Martin I think is the youngest one out of all of them, but they're all getting the late 20s, early 30s. So maybe he's restocking the offensive line and protecting his franchise quarterback to try to make another run this year.
Yeah, just to kind of Kev posted up a picture of the various day. 86 speed, 85 acceleration, 81 spectacular catch, 79 deep route, short route 87, medium route 74, agility 90, and jumping 87, and overall catching 75. So his overall is 70, but that's actually pretty decent stats. Put him in the slot, he can be kind of like a hybrid tight end type guy on certain downs and stuff, and within a 3-4 or a 3 wide receiver set, put him in the slot and he can attack the middle of the field. So it'll be interesting to see how Kev makes him work out for him.
I went with left guard Derek Rison. Rison's out of Montana, 6'3", 321, 23 years old. Not a super strong guy, only 74, I should say, run block, 74 pass block. So kind of an overall guy, more of a finesse guy, but a pretty good lead blocker, pretty good impact blocker. And I like that his awareness is 72. Sometimes you get these offensive linemen and their awareness isn't very high. Look, not a spectacular pick, not a sexy pick. None of my picks have been sexy picks, but I don't need sexy picks. I got to rebuild my offensive line, so I had to go for it.
The Falcons follow suit kind of with the non-sexy pick there with the right tackle. Tavante.
Good luck.
Kuda Joe.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Who was right before my pick? It was the center, right? Nolan Nash?
Yes.
Nolan Nash.
That's right, Nolan Nash, 6'3", 319 out of Northern Illinois. A power guy. I'd love to hear if he posts any stats about him. He did do 35 in the bench press. He was a guy that I definitely was looking at with my pick, but of course he went right before my pick, so a really good pick there. And then Tavante Cuano, I don't know, 6'5", 309 from Clemson. More of an agile guy, so super quick, does everything pretty decent, but only did 29 on the bench press, so he's probably not going to have like a super high strength, but that in this Madden, it's with these new finesse blocks, right? It's not the do or die for a team, but that is probably the worst pick he's made so far, and that's saying a lot because that's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
And now you can see why I went offensive line when I went, even though they're not sexy, because they're running off the board. There's not much left at all. Carey Palco, 6'5", 306 out of Utah, pass protector, rated to go in the second round, so he's getting some value here. He only did 28 on the bench press. Again, more of a pass blocker than anything. I don't love the pick. I think he's going to need a lot of work there for the Eagles. The Eagles aren't around, so that's what he kind of gets, unless he showed back up. Did he show back up? I don't know.
You had a picture of Nolan Nash posting in the main chat. He's 87 strength, 82 run block, 76 pass block.
Dang.
He's pretty solid. I mean, he's pretty much 75 or above in most of his statistics except for awareness. That's a pretty solid pick at this point. Like I said, it's a depth on that line that the Cowboys have. He's already pretty deep there. Something he can build with. He didn't post if he's quick, or I'm sure he's normal depth. But that's a pretty solid pick. I didn't think it was a bad pick at all. He was kind of disappointed in the 87 strength, but kind of like you said, Nate, it's not near as key as it used to be. I think that's a good pick, even though the picture, Nolan Nash looked like he really has eye problems because he's squinting really bad.
I got Darian Hayes, cornerback, going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, help me keep up with who we should skip here. But it's supposed to go in the third round, so a little bit of a reach here out of UAB. More of a zone guy. Ran a 4.69 40. It is the do or die of cornerbacks here, but that is what the Pittsburgh Steelers went.
I'm gonna throw you a little loop here. The Eagles posted a picture that left guard. He is a star development.
Jesus.
80 strength, so he's a little weak, but he's already 81 pass block. He's pretty weak in other areas. 68 in run block power, 74 in run block finesse. But I mean, with that star development,
yeah, he'll get there pretty quick.
Yeah, he'll start racking up some XP.
I didn't see that coming. That definitely was not. He definitely was not a player I would have drafted there. Right in, Antoine Sutton goes to the Buffalo Bills, rated to go in the 6th round. So a little bit of a reach here. Out of Indiana, 286, a little light in the butt there. Did 36 on the bench press though, so he's strong as a mule. He ran a 4.97 40. Going to be more of a power move guy. A lot of hit power once he gets to the quarterback, but an interesting pick, 78 overall, so not terrible there. I do think a little bit of a reach, but a reach that may pay off for them.
Yeah, he's looking for a replacement on that defensive end.
Is the Bengals around? Did we know?
He didn't say what
because he's rounded down twice now. So
okay, there he just made the pick. So
yeah, I think it's the QB. I mean the QB, the computer. Spit it out, Nate. Curry Henderson goes over to the Cincinnati Bengals. My number 2 rated tight end. I love that Bryant Schroeder. I don't know if we spoke about him. He definitely was number 1 on my board in tight ends and a guy I would have looked at with one of those other picks that I had, but he was gone. But Curry Henderson goes over to the Cincinnati Buccaneers, 22, 6'6", so a big guy, 252. Really good hands, can catch the ball in traffic, can run those short routes really, really well. He did 19 in the bench press, so he's not going to be super strong, but not too weak. The problem is he ran a 4.81 40. I don't know where that'll put him. My assumption is 79 or 80, but that's just an assumption.
The Packers can be skipped.
Yep, we can definitely skip the Packers.
My bet's going to be a running back.
No, another right tackle. So these right tackles are starting to go. Jason Winsworth. It's supposed to go in the 3rd round late, so about where he should have went, a little early. It's 309, 6'4" out of Delaware. He's an agile guy. Can do run and block pretty well. Probably more of a finesse guy. He only did 27 in the bench press, so not a terrible pick there for him. It looks like he has set up his draft board, so good job by him. The Redskins, our buddy Dawson, getting a pick there. Left end, Banks Bullock, 6'3", 300. It's interesting to see him invest in his defensive line because the outside of the box or out of the box, Redskins should have a pretty good defensive line. This guy's going to be more of a pass rusher that really gets after the quarterback. Not going to be a super strong guy.
I was going to say, Coach Gavazio, our buddy in Buffalo, he posted a picture, which he's taking some lessons from Priest, though, so I can't really make out. I think it's 84 strength.
Oh, that terrible camera. Jesus, let's get that man a 9-flip phone.
But he does have some look like good stats. He's got a couple, looks like an 82, 78, and an 88. I don't know. That may be strength there. It's hard to tell with that camera picture what it is, but it's a solid pick there.
Well, Lucas Chapman goes to our buddy Bill in his LA Charge. I don't know what the hell you call them anymore. I'm so confused with these LA teams. But Lucas Chapman, 243, 6'2" out of UAB, more of a pass coverage guy, really good in zone, pretty good tackler. Ran a 4.69 40, but did 21 in the bench press. Not a bad pick for him.
Has Mo drafted anybody below 75 overall yet? I don't think so.
Now, Mo definitely has the secret sauce. Christopher Gibson goes over to Seattle. He's supposed to go middle of the second round, so he's getting some value here. Out of Louisville, run stopper, did 35 in the bench press, so another really good player there going to the Seattle Seahawks. So I'll be honest, as we kind of roll through here, a pick here, Nick Derby. Where's Mr. Derby? Mr. Derby. Nick Derby. I did not have him picked on my board at all, but Nick Derby, wide receiver out of Iowa, deep threat guy, 5'9", ran a 4.42 40 though, so that's why he was picked. Pretty good release, pretty good deep route running, and really good catch. Supposed to go in the 6th round though, so a little bit of a reach here for them, but they were going after speed. They probably needed that deep threat, and this is kind of where I was going with that. Is that you see these skill positions, and there are still a lot of really good wide receivers left, and I don't need receiver. I've got plenty of receivers. I've got good receivers, but it's hard to avoid things that look really, really good because they're there, and pick, somewhere where you're like, actually, that would be like, he'd be the 4th best receiver on my team, right? Even though he's really good, he still would be the 4th best receiver on my team. He's getting, 25 plays a year, so I need to go to a position that the guy will actually get to play, and so that's why I have been stubborn today. I have stuck to my offensive lineman goal, and we'll see how that works out for me in the long run. But that is the temptation that a lot of teams are going to be faced here in the 3rd and 4th round, where things can be really pivotal for teams.
Yeah. I think in the second, between the 2nd and the 4th rounds, that's where you make your meat of your team right here. This is where the draft really counts. I think towards the solidifying the middle part of your lineup.
Jace Minnick, it's a tight end, the 3rd tight end to go off the board. My 4th rated best tight end. Supposed to go in the 2nd round here, so he's getting some value. 6'7", 271 out of Illinois. A blocking guy, really good at the block. He should do just fine. That's where he's going to have his bread and butter. Not so much running routes and catching passes, but a good blocking tight end if that's what he needs.
We got a couple of pitchers in. Of course, Mo goes and drafts the 90 strength guy, 84 block shed, 78 power, 78 tackle, 75 overall, normal development guy.
Well, at least he's normal development.
Yeah. And then Mr. Bill, he gave a picture of Catman, 81 speed, 83 acceleration, 81 pursuit, 76 strength, and 83 zone coverage for that middle linebacker. So,
halfback Dominique Chambers goes over to the Kansas City Chiefs. A 5'10", 195 kid out of Rice, ran a 4.5, 140. Only 15 on the bench press, and those 2 picks I think went really, really quick. So I don't know if anybody else has got an eye on what happened just now, but if somebody can help me pick up. I did see Desmond
there was
Bradham.
4.
Yeah, Bradham was kind of going to be my next pick, so I'd love to hear about him if a picture is posted. Bradham, I think, went to the Texans. It was hard to see out of Tennessee, and these picks are rolling. So if somebody can help me catch up really quick, that would be tremendous.
All right, I've got that screen pulled up. The Chiefs, Chambers, Jets drafted strong safety Cameron Serwanga.
All right, let me get there. All right, got him.
Texans drafted left guard Desmond Bradham.
Yep, got him.
And then the Vikings took quarterback Lawrence Keller.
All right, and that's it.
And that's caught us up.
And
well,
that
then
gets us to
the
Mike Brown with the Chicago Bears. What a name for a middle linebacker! Like if you're going to be a middle linebacker, that just sounds like the name that you want. My 5th rated linebacker in the draft out of Cincinnati, 6'2", 250, more of a zone coverage guy. He did run a 4.6, 240, only 16 in the bench press. So a lot of these linebackers are going to really need to hit the weight room. They're going to need to, figure out how to get stronger at the point of attack because a lot of these guys are pretty light in the foot and not the fastest crop of linebackers that we've ever seen enter the OMFL. just a quick rundown of where I am with my draft board. I think there's still a good quarterback out there. I've got 3 halfbacks on my top 10 list. I like all the fullbacks. No one's touched a fullback. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7 receivers still out there on my top 10 list. 2 tight ends on my top 5 list. No offensive linemen left on my top list. One defensive lineman left on my top 10 list. 2, 4, 6 linebackers on my top 10 list. And a good 7 or so DBs left on my top 10 list. So still some really good players that are out there.
Yeah, I don't know. The Bears just posted up a picture of Mike Brown, 85 speed. I'm kind of shocked with the speed rating on that one. He is a little slow in acceleration, 82.
Yeah, that's super interesting about the speed.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at his combine. I figured he'd have probably been like at a 78, 79, maybe 80 range. But he's 83 zone coverage too. So these linebackers have got some zone coverage to him right out of the box. So it's interesting.
Trayvon Holly goes over to Kansas City Chiefs. 6'3", 220 receiver out of Eastern Michigan. A possession guy. Did run a 4.53 40. Did 19 on the bench press. So another big kid going to the AFC. As the Kansas City Chiefs really had a rough go at it the last couple of seasons. He's looking to get things turned around there.
Mo with another good-looking pick.
Levan Gardner goes to the Seattle Seahawks. Somebody get the cat. 6'1", 253 out of Mississippi State. A run blocking guy. Ran a 4.87 40, but did 36 in the bench press. So clearly, the Seattle Seahawks have a plan here. They're drafting the really strong, slower guys. So my assumption he's going to be trying to move some of these guys over to defensive end. I know he's already submitted. It's probably going to get turned down by the board because they hate doing it. But he's submitted to move his safety over to outside linebacker. It hasn't been put out for vote, so I don't know that for a fact. It's just the history of what the board usually votes for. I know they get nervous about moving safeties to linebacker. But clearly there's a plan here. Clearly there's a strategy here. When you start seeing a guy take slower, stronger, like I think he's taken maybe the 2 top strongest linebackers in the draft. I mean, clearly he's saying that there's a plan.
So his plan is to stop all these power running backs running his way now. He'll fight power with power.
Yeah, I guess that's a good plan. I mean, what do you do? You know, the guys are going with the power run up the gut. You know, what do you do to combat that? You get the strongest guys that's available. So, you know, I can't knock him for that for sure.
Trey Bray, 6'3", 261 out of Oklahoma State, a speed rusher, goes over to the New York Giants. More of a finesse guy that tries to get off of blocks by using his speed, making the corner. It's going to be a little tougher here in the OMFL for him, but ran a 4.76 40, which that has anything to do with the middle linebacker that we went just a couple of picks ago. He'll be in that 83 to 86 range, somewhere in there. Did 24 on the bench press. A pick, I think, is like a red chipper, right? Definitely a guy that, look, it's 75 overall here in, where we picked 20 of the 3rd round. Like, that's a good pick there for the New York Giants.
Yeah, it's a really good pick.
Now we're going to start seeing some of these receivers take off. And there's another one there going to the Detroit Lions, Shannon Bell, my 5th rated receiver on the board. Out of Duke, 186, 5'8". I hate these 5'8" guys. But he's going to be a deep threat guy. Ran a 4.48 40. Did 16 in the bench press. A really good medium route runner. He does those crosses really, really well. The famous, post routes, skinny post routes. He's going to do that really well there for Detroit, who is seemingly having to rebuild this offense all over the place. Is someone frying onions? No, Clyde. My wife is cooked a gumbo tonight, and so my belly is full of gumbo. And when you cook gumbo, there's a lot of scrubbing of pots that need to be done. And though I love you all, This is not a professional setup. I am sitting in the middle of my little 2-bedroom apartment, my family of 4, and we're doing life. And so I'm going to let you guys talk, let the computer make this pick here, and I'm going to go look at my draft board.
Well, I'll just throw it out here since I'm already looking at it. Would you believe that wide receiver that the I believe it was Kansas City Chiefs picked, Nick Derby, 92 speed, 94 acceleration, is a star development guy in the third round. 80 catch, 82 deep route, and 89 agility. He has a little weak on the release, 83. He's not a short route guy. He can't run the short route, 65. But this guy, his sole purpose is to get and stretch the field.
But you were talking about, the release and short route. You looked at the Moe's receivers early in the draft, the Falcons. Yeah, their short and medium routes weren't real great. But when you have, I think the Falcons guy had 88 release, man, you're already in the top, echelon of receivers with 88 release as a rookie. And as fast as he is, man, I think those guys are underrating how scary that for the deep ball and how well somebody's got to respect that deep ball and how much more to open up for them with those rookies getting on their teams like that.
And the Patriots took another quarterback.
They're hoping for another late-round miracle, trying to pick another Brady. They just pick as many quarterbacks as they can.
Maybe he's going to pick so many quarterbacks that next year he'll be just using them as trade bait. I don't know.
The Lions post their picture. Shannon Bale, 90 speed, 95 acceleration, 93 agility, kind of like a little Tavon Austin build or Percy Harvin build, 82 medium route, 78 deep, 75 short route. Just a solid guy all around. He is a different kind of build, but I think he might be able to find a place on that Lions team.
Oh, well, it's my. Let me get in here.
Now, Nate, let's hear about your pick.
All right, I'm back. Let me see what I got here. I scrambled. That always happens to me because I was stuck between this and a right end that I had my eye on. But I really do like the right ends that I have, and I have more power picks here. But I kind of took a page out of your playbook, went after a run blocking guy, Matt Sanchez. Good pick, power guy out of Rhode Island, 6'5", 319. Let's see, 84 strength, 82 run block, 78 pass block. 77 run block power, 79 pass block power, 80 lead block. So a lot of guys are really good at this lead blocking thing. 73 awareness, I do like that. And 75 impact blocking. Normal Devo, so I don't love that. But a lot of fast guys. I seem to have drafted a lot of fast guys this draft. I don't love the pick, but here in the third round, it's hard to say anything about it. What was the pick right before mine? I missed it.
I think it was I can pull it right up for you.
So I'm gonna let him talk about while you're looking that up. But he took
Patriots picked a quarterback.
What quarterback was it?
Wade Finnegan.
Who?
Wade Finnegan.
He's like 66 overall or something.
Cornerback?
Like quarterback.
Oh, here he is. Ugh. I don't know what pick that was. That's not even worth me talking about. He's a scrambler guy who ran a 4.79 40. So, hey, good luck with that. No comp. But talk about your quarterback here. I mean, halfback. I'm sorry. We were talking about cornerbacks and quarterbacks. But talk about this halfback that you just drafted.
Well, the halfback is something that I was going to need. Obviously, I lost Jones most of the season last season. Looking for a good, solid backup. And I'm fixing to lose the other running back that I have as my backup probably after this season. He's a 91 speed. I believe he's more of a kind of a elusive back type set, which that's kind of what I've been building around in Tampa. 91 speed, 92 acceleration, 90 agility, 85 carry, 82 vision. He's real weak in the trucking department, stiff arm department. 79 elusiveness, 87 spin move, and 76 juke. Yeah. So really more of a kind of a catching back out of the backfield, but does have some room to grow, and he's only 21, so he'll get some good XP coming his way.
I do like his name, Reginald. I think that's a pretty cool name.
So Mr. Tim drafted Mr. Tevin Patterson. Supposed to go late in the third round, so about where he was supposed to go. 6'4", 302, right in out of Texas. More of a power pass rusher, not a super fast guy, but did 29 in the bench press, so not a bad pick for them. And again, it's my pick again, so I will let you guys talk, so I don't have to scramble.
Yeah, Patterson was 82 power move, 81 tackle, 85 strength, 81 agility, 75 speed, 74 acceleration. So once again, he is more of your run-stopping defensive end, if not kind of a hybrid, Tyrone Crawford, kind of move around all around that line and be a plug-and-play guy. I think Tim will be, will enjoy that flexibility he gets with that kind of player.
Yeah, I like the Crawford analogy there. I mean, he definitely does. Crawford's that type of guy. He's not like just super great at everything, but he is just a solid performer, game in, game out. And like I said, this guy's going to help. He's obviously kind of went defensive side of the ball. It seems like in the trenches, especially, and that's where the games are won, in the trenches, I do believe. So
you had the Chargers come up with Curry Carroll, a receiver. I'm kind of curious to see if he's a speed guy or let's see here, Curry Carroll. There he is, 6'1", ran above him. He is normal depth, 6'1", 185, 92 speed, 97 acceleration.
Ooh.
89 agility, 84 deep route, which I keep seeing this. The deep route has been really good for a lot of these players. But his release is kind of low, spectacular catch kind of low, but that's pretty solid. I mean, the third round, I don't think he can really hate that.
No, and in fact, I think he sent me a picture. Yeah, I'm assuming he did to you as well. So
yeah, I went ahead and made my pick. I don't love it. I actually hate it pretty bad. But I scrambled. I was torn between another offensive lineman or not. C.J. Sam right in. 74 overall. He's not a fast guy, which I'm okay with. I do like to run a 3-4 from time to time. He did 74 speed, 77 acceleration, 88 strength. That's not too bad. 77 block shed. That's not too bad. 70 awareness. I like that. I've seen it way, way worse. 78 agility, 80 tackle, which is pretty good. But a little bit of an undisciplined guy. Not a great pick for me, but I was tired of picking offensive linemen, and so trying to mix it up just a little bit there. Who did I miss right before my pick?
Was it Bill's wide receiver?
Bill's receiver.
Oh, I liked him. That's right. Did he post a photo?
Yes.
Because he was my 4th rated receiver on the draft board. What did that guy look like?
92 speed, 97 acceleration. I think he was 89 agility. Really solid. Like I said, especially a slot receiver type, running those short routes as quick as he is.
Dwayne, you're on the clock too, by the way. Sorry.
Appreciate it.
I just missed the pick right before this one. I don't know if you can help me with that one.
Broncos tight end.
Is that what it was? So Spencer Chinesa, 6'1", 242 out of South Dakota State. Pass coverage guy. He did run a 4.6, 340. What I would call a red chipper, 24 in the bench press. So I like that pick there for the Dallas Cowboys. And then I think you guys said a tight end before that. I think there was a halfback, though, for the Seattle Seahawks, possibly.
Yeah, Seahawks picked another power back, Pierce Minter.
My 9th rated halfback on the board. 6'1", 226 out of Northwestern State. What's he look like?
86 break tackle, 82 speed, 84 acceleration. He's actually got a pretty good little bit of agility to him. 76, 89 carry, 86 trucking, 85 stiff arm, and 86 strength. So he's just going to ram it down your throat.
Yep.
He's not going east or west. He's going north and south with this guy.
The Indianapolis Colts took Jameis Williams. I'll admit I don't like this pick, but I know exactly why he was picked. 5'8", don't like it, 184, deep threat guy. And this is why he went in the third round. Well, he runs a 4.37 40. That's why. So it's going to be a deep threat guy, special teams guy, and a guy that's really going to stretch the field for the Indianapolis Colts. Go ahead and talk about him, D-Wayne.
Well, between him and a lineman, and I was really torn on the lineman. I might really regret not going for that lineman. He is 94 speed. On the negative side, he's 88 acceleration.
That's it? Just 94? I thought he'd be much higher than that.
I figured he was going to be 93, 95. I was kind of hoping on the higher end.
Yeah, I thought he'd be 97 with a 3.7 behind that 4.
He did have 93 agility. He might be a J.J. Nelson replacement if J.J. Nelson doesn't come back this year. He'll be somebody I'll have to keep an eye on. He probably will not get a whole lot of playing time this year because I am pretty deep to that wide receiver court, but I do have to prepare for Hinton and Nelson leaving this next offseason. So he'll be something to look at. But like you said, the acceleration hurt a little bit, but we'll find a place for him. And Ryan Switzer is my kick returner. I'm loyal to Ryan Switzer. So
Lewis Brooking, left tackle, goes to the Atlanta Falcons. Supposed to go in the 5th round, late in the 5th round. So a little bit of a reach here. 6'4", 307 out of Lafayette, close to one of my hometowns. An agile guy, ran a 5.07 40, but did 34 in the bench press. He'll be strong as an ox, but I don't love the pick just because I don't know why I don't love the pick. I just don't. Run block, finesse, power block, finesse. So it's going to be more of a finesse guy, but he's going to be pretty strong.
I love the pick, okay?
What did he post a photo?
He did post a picture.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, are you seeing a Maniac? You said that.
No.
He is 87. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say with Nate downplaying the player and stuff, like, we're in the same division, Nate, so no, we don't like it.
he is a solid player. He's 87 strength. He's high 70s across the top, 80 run block finesse, 80 pass block finesse. He's solid at this point. I'm sure he's normal dev, somebody this guy can plug in and be a backup probably for this first year or so. I don't see it as bad. I know that Nate probably doesn't want to see another solid player going to the Falcons.
No, I don't. Let's see. Let's go ahead and skip ahead in the draft here. Evan Welsh goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. C.J. Randall, left end out of Marshall, goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like him. Was not rated my top 10 defensive lineman. It's supposed to go early in the 3rd round, so good value here. 6'4", 293 out of Marshall, power rusher guy. Did 29 in the bench press, ran a 5.06 40. So pretty good player there.
Nate, I do have a question. I've had some people ask me, when are you ready to accept some calls? Some people are really anxious to talk to you tonight.
We'll probably start doing that here soon. I guess let's get a couple more picks underneath our belt, and then we can take. If you want, just go ahead and start making your list of who wants to talk. And here in another 2 or 3 picks, we'll give people time to sign up, and then we'll go ahead and I'll let you tell me who our first one is.
All right.
Griffin Hepler, I don't love this pick. I think that there's a better player out there. I like Benjamin Russell. I think he'll be a better player, but out of Michigan State, he goes over to the Buffalo Bills, who are taking a lot of quarterbacks this draft.
Yeah, stealing them all from everybody else. No, I just I do have a little information on the middle linebacker the Cowboys picked, Spencer Janasa. 85 speed, 84 acceleration, 81 zone coverage. What is with all the zone coverage in these linebackers? 79 hit power, 76 strength. So a solid, quick. He's a quick development guy too as well.
So it looks like the Panthers been itching to grab this fullback, and it's like when you have an eye on a player like that, you're always like, please fall. And then do I pull the trigger now? Do I think he'll fall another round? But like round 4 is when you will see guys like waiting. Like this is when there's a player that you've been waiting on. You finally take him in the 4th round. Because after the 4th round, it's a crapshoot. You're not quite sure what you'll get. But Alan Homan goes over to the Carolina Panthers, 6'3", 255. So a little big for a fullback, but out of USC, a utility guy. He can carry it, he can run it, he can do everything. He's the fastest fullback in the draft at a 4'7", 240. He did 25 in the bench press, so he's actually the weakest fullback, but not by much. Like, he's right up there with everybody else.
I guess the bigger he is, the bigger hole he'll make, maybe.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Sean Bailey, a 76 overall tight end, goes to the LA Chargers. It's supposed to go in the third round, so good value here. 253, 6'7", big kid out of Utah. Possession guy, ran a 5.0140, did 21-2 in the bench press. What I would consider a red chipper. He was my third rated tight end, a guy that I thought about taking with one of my last picks like a round ago or so, but just passed because of that 5.0140 speed. So I'd love to hear, what that speed actually equates to, because that's what scared me off of him.
Yeah, we've got some guys throwing up some pictures of their picks right now. The quarterback that went to the Chargers, Webster, 86 throw power, 82 medium accuracy, 84 short accuracy, 70 deep, 77 awareness, and throw under pressure 79. So that's actually pretty decent for a young quarterback. He has normal development, but 73 overall. And then Bailey. The only thing I see on him is the possession, 75. He has a vertical, but he is quick development for that tight end. And then the fullback, let's see, 66 impact block, 78 lead block, 64 run block, 80 speed, 85 acceleration. So very quick fullback, able to get out in the flat, and looks like he's going to have some good stats for the lead block.
We're going to be coming up here pretty soon. Mr. Maniac, with your pick. I'm sorry, I was trying to read a couple of different things. Russell Gibson, cornerback, goes over to the Denver Broncos. 71 overall, 22 years old, 183, 5'10", out of Stanford. Man-to-man guy, really good in his man coverage. Did run a 4.4, 940. What I would consider a red chipper, somebody that definitely would have fit in my scheme. And you can see, though, that the top two guys who are still blue chipper prospects are still out there, and it's because they ran that 4.5 plus 40. But again, right, guys, like, you can move those guys to safety because of their speed and still have blue chipper prospects and yeah, I mean, D-Wayne's going to do it. Like, we know that D-Wayne is going to gobble one of these guys up, and he's going to have an 87, speed cornerback that can cover all over the field, and he's just going to embarrass us. I also like the middle linebacker, Nate Cohen, that went a couple picks ago, 6 foot, 246, out of LA Tech, field general guy, really good tackler, pretty good in zone coverage. Can really pursue after the ball, ran a 4.7, 4.40, but did 27 in the bench press. So I really like that pick.
Well, that Gibson guy for the Broncos, he's actually got 89 speed, 91 acceleration, and 76 zone. I mean, so that's very doable, very workable in this Madden.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I know we all freaked out about the Falcons and the Seahawks getting their 99 speed guys, but if there was ever a Madden where that is as close to balanced still, it's not going to be so out of whack that it's just crazy, but still a really good player there. Fossil Keith, right outside linebacker, goes. Then Hassan Bean. I'd love if he posts a picture, because this was actually going to be my next pick. This is a guy I almost picked a while ago. I think this is a really good pick. It's a hell of a steal here this late in the fourth round. We're at pick 12 in the fourth round. Hassan Bean out of Texas, 6'6", 311, a pass protector guy. I avoided him just because he's more of a finesse guy than a power guy, but he did do 30 in the bench press, so probably 86 88, somewhere in that range, but be more of a finesse guy. But I think will be a blue chipper. Would not surprise me if he's a quick or star dev. So he posted a picture. Let's hear about Mr. Hanson Bean.
All right. I haven't seen a picture yet, but he was also on my radar as well because I do have 2 fourth-round picks, and he was up there. That's one of those things where, you start looking back and you're like, well, I think maybe he'll be there later on for me. And, you pass on him, and then you're like, oh, no, he's gone. So,
Not a great draft for centers, but a really good draft for offensive linemen just in general. And there's some really good players that are going to be playing for a long time here. Again, not sexy picks. Not going to win offensive lineman of the year, rookie of the year, whatever, but really good picks. I just missed that pick, that safety that was there. If somebody can get that for me.
Let's see. I'll give you who it was, and then I'm going to get into my draft board.
Oh, yeah. Walker Morant, defensive tackle out of Alabama, goes to the New York Jets. Run stopper guy. Go ahead, Maniac.
Free safety Corey Jackson.
Thank you,
for the
sir.
Chiefs.
Good luck with your pick. I mean, I hope you blow it, but good luck. He was my 4th-rated safety on the board out of Tennessee, 215, 6'1". A run support guy. Didn't run a super fast 40. Pretty good in the bench press at 22. A tackling machine. Lots of hit power. Fits right in with that Dwayne mold of player. And then, Dwayne, you were talking about this Walker Morant. He is super strong, did 36 in the bench press. Is there a photo of this kid?
I don't have a photo of him yet. I have a photo of Hanson Bean.
Yeah, talk about it.
I wondered how many people would ever call him Handsome Bean. 86 strength, 76 run block, 81 pass block. Pretty weak. I guess he's just a strong guy. He's only 69 run block finesse. He's 77 pass block power, 80 power block pass block finesse. I think he's a solid guy, especially at this point to draft somebody he can build with, add some depth. This Madden, guys, you see guys get hurt, especially linemen, more so than we've probably seen the last Madden or two. You got to have that depth at offensive line because, man, you don't want to have somebody go down. You have a 66 overall left tackle when you're playing the Seahawks or the Raiders with Mack or somebody like that.
Yeah, I won't lie. I bought in an offensive lineman specialist this offseason and picked his brain about what he looks to build when he builds offensive linemen. And he had, the things that I learned from him is what made me avoid Bean. I'm trying to look for power guys, run block guys first, and I knew Bean's going to be more of a pass blocker, finesse guy. And so is Bean quick or superstar or anything like that?
I don't think so. He didn't post a dev, so I'm just going to assume he's just normal.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not normal because to me he was a blue chipper.
Well, we do have a picture of that Walker Morant. He has 88 strength, 81 block shed, 80 power move. I mean, that's pretty solid. 80 acceleration, 80 tackle. He's normal dev, but those are pretty good stats for out of the box. 76 pursuit. That's a really good pickup for the Jets. And Clyde, who's trying to turn around and trying to take over the East this year.
Yep. So, do we have some callers lined up? We're at pick number 16 here in the 4th round.
I got your first one is going to be Kevin for the Dolphins.
Good, Mr. Kevin, our newest board member.
He is ready. Let me tell you.
Mr. Kevin, go ahead and unmute yourself, my friend. If not, I can unmute you. There you go. Mr. Kevin, welcome to the Draft Show, season number 82, and out in public, let me go ahead and just openly congratulate you and thank you for coming and being part of our board, man, our newest board member.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
We got you.
There we go.
Okay.
So, look, last season, you went out, and I think with your first pick, please correct me if I'm wrong, and got you your franchise quarterback. Was he what you expected? Was he better than you expected? Like, tell me the story behind your franchise quarterback that took you all the way to the AFC Championship.
He did pretty good. Drake is what really got me there in the defense. You got a running back that rushed for almost 1,500 yards and right behind Bo with touchdowns. I threw way too many picks with him, though. Way too many interceptions.
So what were we looking as we came into this offseason to improve with your team? How did re-signs go for you, and how did free agency go?
Well, I brought back the number 1 running back, and Drake. Got him back in free agency. I wanted to beef up the defensive line because I lost Will Hayes he retired. So I brought in Gerald McCoy. Then I traded Cameron Jordan from you. And then there was another defensive lineman sitting there. Couldn't help but take him, so he should be pretty good. And then I got linebacker Lee. Mo kind of ran me up on him, but I needed a good veteran linebacker that I could just leave out there. And then I added another corner. Mostly just beefed up the defense. My defense played good, bend but don't break, but gave up more yards than I would like.
Well, talk about your draft. What were your needs going into the draft here? Have you been successful? What do you think about your draft so far?
Coming into the draft, I didn't really have any needs, just adding depth per se, because I picked 29. You know, by then it's, you know, picking the scraps. You know, there was a good defensive tackle, but quick enough that I could put him at defensive end to help combat, you know, this running game and this option offense that's going to be coming from the Bills. So, you know, the key is just going to be getting defense this season and stopping the run. Got to look forward to Mr. D. Wayne.
I'm going to turn it over to my two buddies here as my draft pick is coming up. So I'm going to just glance at my board here and let them kind of ask you some questions.
Kev, I got to ask you, out of your, you know, you got your the Bills, the Patriots, and the Jets in your division. How do you think or how do you feel about their offseason so far? Do you think they got improved this season? Do you think they'll give you a run for that AFC East title?
I think the Jets, the Patriots will be there. The Jets, I think, made the right moves. Still scratching my head with the Bills a little bit with dumping Allen, and, you know, I don't really see this new quarterback. But hey, you know, I think he could have got a better player at the number 4. But, you know, that's, you know, hearsay. Hopefully it works out for him. You know, I'm just a middle of the road guy. I went undefeated in the division last season, but, you know, all these guys play tough, and, you know, they give us.
Well, how are you prepared to battle this option offense you're going to see twice a year?
Oh man, I'm just going to leave someone in spy and, you know, let my ends. I got two powerful ends and two really good defensive tackles. So, you know, bring it.
All right, go ahead, Maniac.
No, I was saying, like, who do you think's like surprised you so far in the draft this year?
What was that? You broke up really, really bad.
Who do you think has surprised you so much so far in this draft?
The Patriots.
All around, or just my team or my division?
All around.
I mean, look at the Falcons. I mean, they completely reloaded. Nate's gonna have fun over there.
I'm going to be
Mr. Tank.
I'm going to be unavailable for 2 games a year.
Play my CPU.
The Urban Tanker.
Well, Kevin, it's been awesome to have you, and we're super excited. You've been a great addition to the board, and we're looking for big things. I've always been a fan of you and your Dolphins. I think last season we really got to see you reach your fullest potential, and I can't wait to see great things in season 82 from you, bro.
That's the plan.
All right, my friend. Well, thanks for coming on the show with us and hanging out for a bit.
Good luck to you, man.
No problem. Have a good one.
And there you have it, Mr. Kevin with the Miami Dolphins. AFC championship game. He falls to the Super Bowl champions, Mr. D. Wayne and the Colts. I was expecting a little more friction there between those two, but yeah, that was pretty cordial.
Friendly rivals. I've always been a fan of Kevin's, especially when I was in the NFC and AFC and we didn't have to meet each other. But so it's been enjoyable playing him so far this cycle. I was going to give you a heads up. The Raider Jay Bowles said he will be out the rest of the night. He's got his board set, so you can skip the Raiders when they do come up.
Alrighty, well, let me go and get my pick in. I have zero clue what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to let you guys talk while I mute myself.
Go kicker. There is a really good kicker on the board. I will say that. If I didn't already have the NCAA's all-time leading kicker / the biggest kicker bust ever on my team, I might try to go for him. But
yeah, he just made the Pro Bowl too. So
yeah, I know. You know, I watched that real life video when he got cut by the Buccaneers. They had that on like one little behind the scenes shows. I always felt really bad for him. Nothing like getting cut, but nothing like getting cut on live TV. That'd be horrible.
Oh man.
Um,
It's a good thing that we don't have live TV on OMFL when they're.
right. Oh, let's see. We had the Patriots just picked a cornerback.
Something besides a quarterback.
The Lions just picked a kicker. That's funny. We were joking about that.
Oh,
Bruce Paulson. Let me see where he was at on my little list of kickers.
I don't know if that was the kicker.
But there was two of them that were. There's another one. He might have been the one. He was A minus in accuracy, A minus in kick power. There is one more that has a strong leg that's left. But he did pick a good one. Let me see. I didn't actually look at. He posted a picture of me. 90 kick power. That actually disappoints me a little bit. 90 kick power, 91 accuracy. I expect a little bit more out of him, especially. I just expect a little bit more with the A minus kick power, especially as slow as the kick power and kick accuracy. I think my kickers went up twice since I got him, and all he gets is awareness. He don't get anything else.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's really tough to bring up a kicker.
Let's see here. Nate just picked a quarterback.
Yeah, I scrambled. Every player I was on my board, my top 4 guys were already gone. And you know how Mad does that sometimes. They remove players from the board because they're going to be free agents. And so I scrambled, and I just ran out of time. So I took a quarterback. He was my best rated quarterback that was left. I just scrambled. 92 throwing power.
I'm not gonna lie. He was actually my next pick.
75 deep accuracy, 76 medium accuracy, 73 short. So he needs some work. 71 awareness. I like the fact he's 78 break stack. So he's going to be a pocket guy. 6'4", so he's going to be a tall guy at USC. Look, he's going to go play the bench and be on the practice squad and get some playing time. Maybe in a couple of seasons. I don't know. We'll see how things go. I'm pretty set at quarterback, but I kind of scrambled. I don't know if anybody can help me kind of catch up where we were after my pick. I don't have anything.
It went pretty hectic.
The pick I did have, the guy I thought I was going to get is Rich Mesco, who I think went to the Giants.
He was another Arkansas guy who I had my eyes on.
I did too. That was going to be my next pick.
Mesco went to the Giants. I feel really bad for him. I'm sorry, Peppers. I just don't wish the Giants on anybody. Then the Lions picked kicker Bruce Paulson, first kicker off the board, going to 0-0. Patriots drafted cornerback Mike Duncan. Then you picked quarterback Benjamin.
Yep.
Just Benjamin. The Ravens drafted cornerback Marquise Brooks. That's Outlaw's brother. And
yep.
And then we'll let Maniac talk about his guy.
All right. Since Nate just took my dude, because I was needing a quarterback, and I started to go ahead and go quarterback, but there's really nothing there that I thought that was worthy of that place in my draft right now, because I still had some good guys on my board. I went ahead and went with wide receiver Sherman McPherson, red zone threat. He's actually 91 speed. Let's see. I'm pulling up his card. 86 acceleration, so a little slow on the acceleration, but 78 catch, 77 catch in traffic, 85 short, 76 medium, 76 deep, 87 spectacular, 85 jump, but he is a pretty decent guy for that pick, 74 overall.
How was the Mesco kid that went to the Giants? Did we get a photo on him?
Let me see if I didn't remember seeing a photo.
Maniac, can you catch me up after your pick? I'm completely lost. I think we had like a run on 4 or 5 picks there, and then we could bring in another guest.
Okay, I got one on deck.
All right, let me.
You just had a Titans drafted cornerback DeMar Sullivan. He's got a picture of him in the chat. And the Broncos drafted wide receiver Josh Horton.
Yeah, I think there was a couple picks in between there. See, I just missed that one. Kenny Perry, strong safety.
See, there was my other pick too. That was 16th pick. I took left end Cedric Whitner with a 16th pick in the fourth.
Now we're just running, so you guys are gonna have to help me. Whitner, you said?
Yes, the 16th pick in the fourth. He was actually a either quick development or star development. I'm not sure. I'm in the transaction log right now. Bears took with the 17th wide receiver Marquez Triplet.
Hold on, let me find him real quick. Marquez Triplet.
Martinez Triplet.
And if y'all didn't know, the Falcons were back up again.
Okay, I got Martinez.
All right. Browns then took halfback, 18th pick, Harris Kroom.
Yep, got him.
All right. Jets cornerback, Joseph Callcrick.
Joseph. Okay.
And then the Giants wide receiver, Rich Mesco.
Okay, got him.
Lions took kicker Bryce Paulson.
Yep, got that one.
All right, Patriots cornerback Mike Duncan.
Okay, got him.
And then your pick, the quarterback. Then Ravens took cornerback Marquise Brooks.
Got it.
Bucks Sherman McPherson.
Who is he? What is he?
Wide receiver.
Oh, is that the one we just talked about? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yeah. And then the Titans cornerback DeMar Sullivan.
Okay.
And then Broncos wide receiver Josh Horton.
All right.
And that catches us up.
Hello, Rascal. The Dolphins get a star dev guy in the 4th round.
That's crazy.
Whoa!
I think I might have missed a couple there, but I think we're pretty caught up. All right, who we bringing in next?
We're going to bring Josh in after he pick.
Okay.
Josh is ready to come in and tell us about his Navy triple option.
I think so far it's been a really solid draft, and now we're getting to that point where guys know what they want. Either their draft boards are set or they're sitting there waiting. And so, there's some good players that are going to start coming off the board here. And there he is. Mr. Tevin Baldwin's going to go to the Buffalo Bills with the 4th pick here in the 5th round. So, Mr. Josh, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, my friend, and we'll bring you on the show. There you go. Coach Josh, welcome to the OMFL Draft Show for season 70, or 78, listen to me, 82. Man, how's it going tonight?
Not bad. I'm having fun with this draft. All the players that I invested a lot of points in have been on the board. I really can't complain. This is probably one of my best drafts that I think I've had since I've been in the league. I'm very happy.
So let's look back on last year. This is a really solid up and down draft, but let's look back at last year. You know, you decided to go a different direction from Josh Allen. What kind of brought that decision on, and what made you go in that direction?
The thing with Josh Allen is that I couldn't master his control with the passing. With the 99 throw power, with the wide receivers that I had, I noticed that a lot of the balls were just coming off the hands too easy. And I didn't know if it was just attributed to the high throw power. So I was kind of thinking even back then about going with this option offense, and I needed a scrambler quarterback, and he really didn't fit the scheme that I was looking for, and I needed to bolster my line a little bit, and I made a deal with Mr. Jay Bowles over in Oakland, and it worked out so far on my end at least. I don't know how it's gone for him with Allen, but I can't complain about it.
So, as the commissioner here and guy who created FPR, when I hear triple option offense, I get real nervous. My bowels start to tighten up a little bit. My brain begins to hurt. So tell me, what are we talking about when you talk about the triple option?
Well, one thing, the main lesson that I learned from my dumpster fire of a season last year was that it's better to be a jack of all trades instead of a master of one. So when I say I'm running an option-based offense, it's going to be option heavy, but I know about the FPR rules and everything, and it's not going to be run on every single play. It's going to be a nice mix of everything.
Yeah, I'd have to say out of all of the guys that maybe had their different FPR struggles throughout their time here, I think I've seen the most improvement from you over the past couple of Maddens, and I know that the light switch kind of clicked several years ago or whatever, seasons ago, and you really have been super. Your FPR grades have increased tremendously, and so I'm real interested to see how you do a triple option offense, but still keep it very FPR. So talk to me about what else went wrong last season. Where did the wheels kind of fall off? And how did you take those lessons learned? And what did you go into the offseason looking to change?
Well, basically, I got way too one-dimensional last season. I tried to institute just the power run game to run it down my opponent's throat, and in my division, the defenses are just too good. And I just really said to myself, I got to find something to mix it up. And that was one of the clincher. Last season was a clincher in my decision to turn this offense around, because I just want to bring some excitement to my offense, and I want to make life hell on user linebackers in my division.
And the triple option may do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I want them to worry about my quarterback on every single down. And it might not even wind up using them on that specific down, but if they're worrying about it, that's just one thing they got to be concerned about.
So what did we go into the re-sign period and the free agent period looking to accomplish?
Absolutely nothing, because I'm dead broke. I tried to sign a fullback, but made a rookie mistake on offering a one-year deal in the stage 1 free agency, but I'll rectify that when I can. But I had to be very conservative with my money this year, because I got a big contract coming up next season with Keenan Askew, and I got a feeling he's going to break the bank for me with that one. So very, very conservative as far as free agency this year.
So as we moved into the draft, what were we looking to do? Clearly trying to replace the quarterback situation. I know we drafted a couple of quarterbacks, but what were the main goals, and what did we think so far as we're in the early portion of round 5 about your draft?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the main goal for my draft this season was get the personnel that I needed to run this offense. I needed scrambling quarterbacks, and I was happy with Christie in my first round pick, and I picked up his insurance policy. I think it was in the 3rd round, another scrambling quarterback, because it's this, like Dwayne said earlier in the show, that this is kind of a high risk, high reward offense. It's like my quarterback can get killed on any single play, so I gotta have a backup plan to go with that. So it was mainly just hitting on those two points to just get the personnel ready to run this offense. And with my draft so far, like I said, I love all the players that I invested heavy points in. We're all hanging around on my draft board all night, and I'm ready to go.
I could skip the Raiders, right, Bill?
Yes.
Maniac? Okay.
Yes.
So what are we looking at for season 82? Like, what are the goals? What do we think that we can accomplish? Is this a one year, one season flip, or do we think that we're still a little bit away?
No, I'm going for it this year.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is the year that I'm making fun for it.
Well, boys, I'm going to open it up to you guys.
The East better be ready, guys. Get your linebackers ready, because you're going to be running all over the field.
I would tell you, Josh, another one that could help with the option, and actually probably a better FPR wise, and gives you more options on the thing, is the veer that the Panthers use.
Already got.
I was gonna say that is great. To me, it was more efficient to me. The option is fun. I ran it the last couple Maddens. I had a few. That was kind of one of my home run runs I wanted to try to run. That veer was super nice. But I'm really interested to see you play in that division and implement that option. Because like I said, man, you play in a really tough division. Like I said, you got 4 teams, including yourself, that can win that division, and it ought to be a fun season watching you play.
Yeah, it's going to be. Hopefully, it's going to be an electric offense and fun to watch. That's what I'm going for.
How do you feel about your defensive side of the ball? I mean, do you feel like you have have what it takes on your team, or are you still looking for a defensive player to kind of solidify or maybe take the next step?
The only one big gap, glaring gap that I had was my right end, and I addressed that in the draft as well with my pick. The guy I'm surprised he was slated to be a 6th-round pick because his combine numbers were off the charts, and I'm a sucker for combine numbers. I'll admit it. I'm such a sucker for it. But everybody else on my defense is pretty solid. I mean, I don't think I have any real big glaring holes besides right end, and I addressed that tonight. So I think I'm good to go on defense.
Yeah, I agree with you. When I see those combine numbers, my eyes kind of light up a little bit, and I start getting a little smile, like, man, this guy could be the it pick right here, you know. And sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But I do like those combine numbers.
Yeah, I'm a total sucker for him. I start seeing green, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're coming.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for being on the Draft Show. We're looking to see the Buffalo Bills turn things around this season. And I'm also super excited because you have rejoined and been a part of our GFW, which is, I think, a secret thing here that if people would just give it a chance and go watch those shows, they'd find themselves really entertained. And you're a part of that, and I appreciate you being a part of that because that's a big investment of something that I've added here and something that I definitely do enjoy. So thank you for being a part of that. Thanks for being a part of our draft, and good luck to your Bills in season 82.
No problem, fellas. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man.
There you have it, Coach, with the Buffalo Bills. Really getting things turned around there in Buffalo. And look, when the Buffalo Bills are better and those teams who struggled this past year, when they're better, it really evens things out and brings some parity to the league. And I'm pulling for him.
Yeah, we're in the 5th round. We still got quick development guys coming off the board. That is something amazing.
Yeah, Matt Gross, a quarterback from Baylor, 6'5", 222. Not a spectacular kid. Ran a 4.9 740, so he'll have a little speed on him. More of a short throwing guy, but he goes over to the Cleveland Browns. There's the word I'm looking for. Abraham Carroll, 73 overall wide receiver, because that's just what he needs is a wide receiver. After having a guy win Player of the Year with his guy. Abraham Carroll, 6'1", 188 out of North Dakota. A deep threat guy. Ran a 4.5 340. Catches the ball really well. Runs those deep crosses really well. Not super strong, even though he's 6'1". He's a little on the weak side, but a good player. Overall, if you guys see some photos, feel free to talk about it. My pick is coming up, so I'm going to in another pick or so, I'll turn my attention, and then after my pick, we can bring on our next guest.
All right.
Sounds good.
See, Browns posted Matt Gross, quick dev.
Yeah.
QB. Like I said, it's good to see see what K's got brewing in the Browns. Cleveland, they really turned it around this year. Had a really good season. But when you play his division, man, it's just tough. Even on a good season, like I said, didn't get him in the playoff, even though he was right there on the brink of it. I think you got good sunny days ahead for Cleveland.
Yeah, he was competing pretty much every game that he played, and giving them a run for their money over there. Speaking of talking about the quick dev and stuff, the Chiefs, their last pick, Tucker, quick dev. Linebacker Forbes for the Jets, quick dev. The left tackle Harrison for the Bears, quick dev. So there's some actual really good talent left in this draft. It's real deep.
I'm really interested to see if the Patriots get another quarterback here. That would be interesting. I know his CPU's picking for him. I will say, I think you've seen. Actually, I think you just said it. You've had a really good depth in this draft when you go down to quick dev and star devs in the 4th round, and like I say, you're still getting quick in the 6th or the 5th round. I think you've had a real deep draft. I think some teams can come out of here feeling really good about themselves, even though they're not the Falcons or Seahawks. I had to throw that in there, Mo. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have a sneaky feeling with that wide receiver. He's downplayed that wide receiver so much, but I would almost bet anything that receiver is going to be in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
You know, and Mo, if you don't like him, I get it. I'll take him. I'll coddle him on my team. He can learn behind some other speedsters. Now he went with us, pretty solid pick. DJ Long, 77 overall, halfback out of Virginia Tech, going to New England. That's pretty solid. Probably one of his better picks that he's got through the CPU. DJ Long, 5'11", I think 5'11", 205. Elusive back, ran a 4.55. He's not gonna, out weightlift anybody. He had 13 on the bench press. But another speed back to go. He's already got that Sony Michel as a running back. He's already got a couple, tough power back guys. I think that guy might be able to get a good compliment because every team needs a speed back, third down back, and maybe that guy can fill the role for him. And let's hear about Keyshawn John.
Yeah, I went with a tight end finally. I've been avoiding them all night, even though I had a bunch picked. This guy is quick def, so I do like that. 69 overall. He's definitely going to need some work. 81 speed, 71 catch. I like both those things. Catch could be a little bit better. Terrible run blocker, dumb as bricks, 57 run block, 57 awareness. Good short run route runner, 74, 79 acceleration. So he's not going to burn people. 72 catching traffic. Yeah, I mean, look, there's some potential there, and I think the potential comes in the fact that he has a lot of stamina, good injury, a lot of toughness, and the fact that he's quick dev is really going to it'll give me something to work with. He's not going to get to play right away, but he doesn't need to play right away, and he'll get some training, and he'll be okay.
He's a big guy, 6'8", 260 pounds.
Can you guys help me catch up with anybody that I missed, and then after my next pick, we'll bring on a guest.
All right, let's see here.
I think I got the quarterback that went to the Browns.
All right, you said quarterback that went to the Browns was your last one. Okay, you had Abraham Carroll, went to the Panthers.
What is he?
Wide
the
receiver.
Yep, I got him.
The Giants drafted center Tanner Bragg.
All right, got him.
The Lions drafted another big tight end, Zach Sitton.
Yep,
he was on my board. Then the Patriots went with DJ Long, halfback, pretty solid, 77 overall.
Okay.
Lucid back. And then the Jaguars, after you, went with Ben Silva at right outside linebacker.
Ben Silva.
It's like he belongs to the MMA instead of Madden.
Yeah. And then Addison Kroll just went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So talk about your buddy.
Well, I mean, he's not probably what I would have got if I went with a pick earlier in the draft for the offensive line, but definitely feels a backup role for me. 84 strength. 70 run block, not very good, but he's a pretty decent pass blocker. 79 pass block, 78 pass block finesse, 78 pass block power. But he does need some improvement in the run blocking. 72 run block power, 70 run block finesse, and 69 lead block. But definitely kind of fits the mold for my team. He is a pass protector, and so he'll fit as a backup role for the Bucks going into season 82.
I think we got the Cincinnati Bengals. Is the Denver Broncos a skip?
I have
They're not.
seen.
Okay. So yeah, here we go. Fullback Maurice Murray out of Ole Miss. So now you're going to see a run on these fullbacks. There's some really good fullbacks. Jason asked a really interesting question. He says that a deep draft or just really good scouting. I think it's a little bit of both. Like I think everyone here is going to be a great scouter, but I think it is a really, really deep draft. Maurice Murphy, 22 years old, 257 pounds, 5'10" out of Ole Miss. Utility guy, ran a 4.8 140, so pretty quick. 28 on the bench press. I do like that pick, and he's got him a new home.
The Broncos go with Jimmy Zong.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Yep. Yeah, out of Colorado, 236 pounds, 6'5". He looks the part. He acts the part. just lacks an NFL arm, and so I don't know that he's going to be anything more than just a role player and a backup player. He's not super fast. He's not super athletic. He doesn't have the big arm. He's a great leader, and he'll find his niche and his role here. You know, probably get 4 or 5 seasons out of him as a good backup player. But he's definitely not a starter.
I was saying with Glaze, you just never know. I've seen him play with. Let's just throw that out there. But I've seen Glaze do some crazy things. Maybe he just wants some depth, somebody he can try to build. That's just one hell of a name, man. It's kind of like that Wayne guy that got drafted a couple months ago. I do have you a caller ready if you are ready for a caller.
My pick is next, and then we can definitely take a
okay.
caller. All right, the 49ers time is clicking out here. We are at pick number 28 in the 5th round, and we've kind of slowed down just a little bit here. It's been a really quick draft until this 5th round. This 5th round has dragged a little bit.
Yeah, I think everybody's digging deep, trying to find the remaining gems.
Yeah, there's not much left. A.J. Wade, 6'4", 302 out of Notre Dame, goes to San Francisco 49ers. Probably no more than a project player. And let's see if my guy that I want is still there.
Chong is what Josh said how to pronounce the name. Chong.
And Jason says, cross song.
Jason is a seriously funny dude. He plays all the shooters with us. So I took defensive tackle Corbin Craig. Normal development guy, 64 overall, 314, 6'5" run stopper out of Illinois State, 83 strength, 74 block shed, 67 awareness, 68 speed, 72 tackle. Yeah, not a good pick, not a good player. Going to be a practice squad kid, and yeah, that happens when you're in the 5th round and you think you have your eyes on what potentially could be a really good player for you, and it turns out that 30 bench press means 87 strength. So
I can't remember how the Ravens got my pick right here. That's the sad part. I don't remember when we traded. Maybe it was the Kenneth Dixon trade. I do
like this wide receiver, Spencer McDuff. He went to the Dallas Cowboys. He was my 9th ranked receiver. I actually thought about going after him. Ran a 4.43 40. The reason I didn't, he's 5'9", and I just kind of it's sort of a habit. I just don't draft 5'9" guys if I can avoid it. Good deep threat guy is going to be able to get off the block pretty fast, pretty strong, 16 bench press. So, but at 5'9", you know, it limits to what you can get out of him. So that catches us up where we are, and I think that we might have a caller ready.
I have Smash. If you were there, I know you didn't respond to my message I sent you. If you're ready to go, just unmute yourself.
You
I'm here.
Mr. Smash, welcome to the season 82 draft, my buddy. How's it going tonight?
Not good. X-Maniac. I had that linebacker that on top of my board.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll get there. Talk about last season. You correct me if I'm wrong, but we went from
the Bolts to the Bears.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When Outlaw left, you got to take the Bears, who I think are your hometown team, right? How was that change? How was that switch? And what did you learn about the Bears going mid-season?
Well, I learned that I'm 1 year behind everybody. It was bad that what happened to Outlaw, but without a owner, it wasn't good. So.
What were the biggest holes and the biggest concern with that team?
Offensive line. And then, last draft was the offensive line draft. That was the draft if you wanted offensive line all across the board, like this draft with D tackle. If you wanted offensive line last draft, you got some good guys here in this draft, but all across the board, every position, you had good offensive line. And that was what the Bears needed with the running back I got in Howard back. He had some good games, but, I got to build that O-line.
Yeah.
And when the many picked, I picked a nice, good D tackle, but it was a right guard that I should have picked too. besides that linebacker. They were 1-2 on my board, but I saw that D tackle and I said, Hicks is getting old. Let me get yeah. And after I saw Maniac, man, after I picked that pick, because I work overnight, so I was I couldn't even go to sleep. That's how.
Well, talk about.
I didn't.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
And I didn't want to post the pick, and I was ready, like, man, I don't even want to play anymore.
Don't worry, I wanted to stop playing as soon as I seen the Falcons' first 3 picks. It made me want to give up. So, talk about the offseason. What was your plan going into re-sign phase and free agency?
Well, I didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And plan was to just, load up on backups, maybe cornerback, get some decent offensive line because you need those.
Right.
And I did that, and cornerback. I got a couple of nice cornerback, but I needed a linebacker. And like I said, I'm gonna give everybody who listen a message. If you have a plan, stick to the plan. Don't go off the plan. I tell all guys that, some guys, hey, we talk, hey, stick to your plan, and I didn't stick to my plan. But I got some decent guys in free agent, so that I'm gonna try to play a hybrid defense with. So I might move that right end I got in the draft last year. Might move him to the linebacker so I can get his zone up.
There you go. So, what was your plan after free agency coming into the draft? What were you looking to accomplish? And
the plan
it sounds like you're not too happy with it, but
right. Well, I'm only unhappy with that first pick, and you can't get over that. So, like I said, the Bears were behind offensive line. This was an offensive line draft, and my goal is to run the ball. I got Howard. He's on a tag, so I don't know if we're gonna keep him. But my goal was sending the offense around here. So, and at times when the problem with my offense, I couldn't run the ball. I couldn't do anything. So, and that was a problem. Going in was offensive line. But, hey, I saw the guy that D tackled. Hey, I said, damn, that first-round pick, early first round, let me take it. Like I said, stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan.
If nothing else, stick to the plan. Don't worry about what anybody else doing. Stick to your plan.
Well, speaking of plan, what is the plan as we move into season 82?
The plan now is, hey, I might have to do like Falcons. That's just a joke because I can't do that. I can't do that. I got to go in. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be tanking, but I tell you what, I got the Colts, Jags, and Buccaneers first 3 games.
That's
so tough. I'm not tanking. I might be 0-3, but silver lining is the 4th week. I got the Vikings. I didn't beat the Vikings 3 times last year. Once there's the Boats, and 2 times as the Bears. So, hey, I can at least go 1-16. So.
Well, what is it going to take, though, for your Bears? Even if it's not this season, what's it going to take for you to compete there in the North?
Well, the North is kind of like we eat each other up. I mean, 1 minute you think you're going to beat the guys, everybody with Vikings. Like I said, I got his number. The ball, double no, whatever, the Lions. Hey, he's a tough guy. I think he's my toughest opponent. And Priest, if we stop at Priest run, then pretty much I can make him one dimension. I can figure him out. But all the guys are tough. Especially, like I said, the Lions is the toughest guy in the division, then Priest, then me, then the Vikings. So if I can finish third in the division, I'm happy. I'm really going for, I got to figure out how much money I'm going to have. I got to make it my number 1 receiver, my quarterback, and Howard all up for re-sign, and my top linebacker. So I got to figure some things out.
Well, man, thanks so much for being on the draft show. I do want to turn it over to these 2 guys because I know they're itching to ask you some questions.
Go ahead.
I'm just interested. You talk about y'all beating each other up, and Duvall. Honestly, I thought you and Duvall were a heck of a rivalry. I don't know if that's what you're trying to stoke with this or not.
No, I'm just speaking facts. I'm speaking facts. I don't look. I don't hold. Hey, I give everybody props. I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not gonna hold you, Johnson. But I'm gonna give you props. I'm gonna give everybody props. That's it. But I'm too competitive. Like, oh yeah. Hey, no, I'm not a rah-rah guy for anybody. Everybody here good, and I respect everybody. but I'm not. Hey, I'm nobody's fan, but my own fan. And I'm speaking facts. I'm not gonna talk trash like Duvall. Duvall, sometimes, hey, I can figure him out easy. Once you stop that inside zone, that college offense he run, it's over with.
Shots fired.
And I'm gonna tell you like this: the best guys here can play. If you shut down one thing, they adjust. If you can't adjust, and I'm just gonna be honest, playing me, if you can't adjust, it's over with. If some of these guys that are top players here, if you stop one thing, it's over with. I'm just, like I said, I'm just speaking facts. I'm not down on anybody. I'm just speaking facts. The best guys, the ones that's consistent and that's always making the playoffs, are the ones that can make adjustments. If you can't make an adjustment, it's over with.
I tell you what, man, you are feeling fire to the rivalry. Mr. Duvall is going ballistic nuts in the chat, right? Put me on. Put him on. The record speaks for itself. The record speaks for itself. I'm just saying, I respect the man, but the record speaks for itself. 0-3 versus me. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Oh, this is awesome.
Well, Mr. Smash, you have definitely been one of the most entertaining interviews that we've ever had on the draft show. But look, we're pulling for your Bears. I know the Outlaw is still a little sick to his stomach that he doesn't have his Bears, but we're expecting some big things from you.
Guess what? He's going to be sick next year when I had a real Bear.
Well, there you have it, Mr. Smash. Good luck in season 82, brother. We are pulling for you, and thank you for making some time to be on the draft show tonight. Oh, did I lose everybody?
No, I'm here.
Good stuff, man.
That was quick. Yeah, Smash, thanks so much for doing that, man. That was super entertaining, and that was great.
Yeah, we do have Colin is in line before Duvall, so we'll let Duvall stoke a little bit longer. But whenever Nate's ready, Colin will be ready.
Come on, Mr. Colin, you go ahead and unmute yourself, my brother, because I have a long way before my next pick. So let's go ahead and get these interviews done.
Colin, you're still here, right?
Hey, if you can, try to help me stay on top of the picks that we can skip, because I have completely forgot most of them.
The Broncos are one now you can skip.
Yeah, I know the Broncos. I know the Packers. Was the Raiders one?
The Raiders are one, yes. You can skip the Raiders.
I missed that one.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Just help me.
Smash had me all rolling over here.
I
poured a drink just for him tonight.
Mr. Colin, you may just have to go into your settings. I don't know if you're on your phone or not, but there's just a mute button. You just got to unmute yourself. I can unmute you, though, if you can't figure it out.
He's on. He's not on, unlocked yet, but he is online. So
is he
I don't
talking
know if
to you?
He's not yet.
Tight end McCaffrey, and I missed the middle linebacker. I don't know if anybody can find that one too. There was a pick right before this one. There was a middle linebacker, but I missed it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I lost it with Smash. It was just hilarious.
But if you want to get Duvall on, Colin hasn't responded yet. If you want to go ahead and unleash this beast.
All right, Mr. Duvall, go ahead and unmute yourself. But let me get this pick in real quick. Did we see who that pick was that I missed?
Tarvarius Ellis, maybe middle linebacker, Chiefs.
I do like that pick. I think he was my third rated.
Colin is trying to unmute. He said we might have to.
All right, these are all going way too fast, so I'm gonna need some help. So I got the middle linebacker, and then I'm lost after that.
Tight end CJ McCaffrey.
Can y'all hear me?
We got you. Who's this?
I'm look here. Y'all got to make me step outside. I don't want to wake up my damn family.
This has got to be Duvall. All right, Duvall. Look, I'm just gonna unleash the mic, and I'm gonna let you rant for a second, and then we'll pull it back in, and we'll find out about your off season. So go ahead and respond.
Look,
to Mr.
damn the off season. We need to get to week 4 of the damn season right now. That man always call me out. That man don't say everything he need to say. I'm gonna give him credit. Smash, you did what you need to do. First game I had to play against Chicago. We all know it was some BS. I didn't even know I'm preparing for outlaw. Then all of a sudden, this man get the damn team. I said, hey, it is what it is. Now, at the same time, he beat me. But it is what it is. The man called me a call to offense. Hey, every goddamn season, I don't got screwed over by Madden. Every damn season, I'm supposed to make the damn playoff. These damn Madden guard keep screwing me over and giving it the damn Lions because the Lions never will win a goddamn playoff game. So that's the reason they put them in. That's just an easy-ass win for everybody in the NFC. No one want to play them in the damn playoff, but that's fine. But Smash, I promise on everything, if I get a hold of you, I'm trying to put up 50. 50. I'm telling you now, I'm about to be Steve Spurrier. I'm bringing old school Florida Gator offense back. Damn all this power run game. I'm about to air this thing out. And I promise you, I'm running up the score.
Doesn't that feed into him saying you have a college offense?
Hey, I'm okay with that. I promise you on everything. If I can put up 50, I'm going to try to put up at least 50 points on them. I'm going to try my best. I'm telling you, Nate, I'm going to go ahead and go and mark myself down on that game. Because I'm going for 2. I'm telling you, I'm doing everything wrong. Because that man will call me out and call my offense trash, call my team trash. Week 4, that man said he go 1-16 and he'll have a happy season because he beat me one time. I'm telling you, Nate, it's old. I got to get my blood pressure pills now. You got my pressure.
Well, let's get your blood pressure down a little bit. Talk about your team last year. It's a little bit of an up and down season for you. You did get kind of screwed out again 2 years in a row, but what was your team missing? What were you happy to see with your team? Tell me a little bit about your team last season.
Well, I'll tell you this. The team last year was they did better than I expected. I made a trade of Kirk Cousins. He was on my budget for $21 million, and when I looked at the team, we got a lot of holes. So we made a aggressive move when we brought in our new GM, Ric Flair. Him and Kirk Cousins kept getting into it in the locker room. So Kirk, and Rick just couldn't get along. So Rick cut his ass and sent him on over to Cincinnati. And we surprised everybody by getting Geno Smith. And, when you look at Geno Smith's stat for last season, he played pretty decent. He put up the same amount of numbers that Kirk did. And so I was very happy with that. Offensively, we confused on offense because we had Geno Smith. He's a different type of quarterback. So we was, in the beginning of those season, trying to figure out, once we got running with him and understanding what we could do with Geno, we ran off some good games and won some games toward the end of the season. We just, we lost a heartbreaker against Oakland. I believe that was the Oakland I lost to at the end. They were one of them teams that had a crappy internet connection. I probably should have just told them, man, we couldn't play. But, I did it. I played it and lost the game. Second game with the man had bad connection. He had a hamster for internet. But, hey, it is what it is, man.
Well, what were you looking to do when you went into the free agency period and into your re-sign period? What were you looking to do?
Re-signing, we were trying to keep our players, some of our solid players with our team. We very strapped for cash. We only had $600,000. So we wanted to make sure that the players that we re-sign, we wanted to re-sign a player that's going to contribute right away. Even tonight with this draft, we drafted some interesting players, some guys. We drafted a lineman because we want to shore up the offensive line. We made a trade. That's the time we lost our first-round pick. We went and got, I can't remember the guy, offensive guard. We got like a 92 rating. So we got a real solid offensive line. And we drafted this guy, 75 rated guy in the second round, which is going to come in and start right away because he's better than what I got there already. So a lot of the position we got is guys that can fill holes immediately for us. We drafted this guy right in the 6th round. I don't know why he was still sitting there, but he's that traditional power back that everyone talking about. I don't have one, so I say let's go ahead and take a chance. And he's gonna fit right in. Hopefully he'll get them short yardage for us. But we're gonna mess up this offense. We're playing with some stuff because we want to make sure Smash don't score any points against us.
And you've been hitting the practice field pretty hard. So as you kind of went through the off season, what was your plan coming into the draft, and what do you feel about your draft?
I'm gonna tell you, it hurt me that everyone made a run on quarterbacks.
Yeah,
my goal was to get a quarter. Yeah, my goal was to get a quarterback in the second round, but was none there. So I had to go ahead and just try to get the best available guys can come in and start right away. Not necessarily looking at different positions, just looking at the overall picture, like who's available, who's the best person that I think can get on the field. And so that's what that whole. After the first round went over. and we noticed that wasn't no quarterback. We just wanted to get best players.
So how do we feel? Are we happy with where we are?
I'm okay. I think, you never know until you get these guys on the field. They can look great on paper, but when they get on that field, it's another story. So we hoping that with the guys that we drafted that they can come in and really produce. Our goal, if you look at our division, 9 win is getting you in the playoff. That's master. And so what we have to do is try to figure out how we can steal 1 or 2 more games, because 8-8 consistently is killing us.
I'm going to turn it over to my 2 guys and let them ask you some questions.
Man, I just have one. What would you say the identity of the is in general? Just what you look as a group.
Identity of my team right now, we're going to put our hat on the defensive side of the ball. We've really been working on that. Really trying to clean that up because in our division, you got to play defense. I mean, you got guys like Priest that are going to throw the ball 50 times a game, and then you got this old sucker named Smash that just run the ball 100 times, and he can't throw the ball past 5 yards, so he got the easiest offense to stop. But unfortunately, my defensive line was playing like crap at the beginning of the year. And then I'm gonna give Alliance his credit. He got a well balanced offense and a well balanced defense. So at the end of the day, that's who we chase, and the man representing our division 2 years in a row. So we got to chase him and try to beat him down.
Go ahead, Maniac. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That was kind of basically the same question I was going to ask you. How do you think you're going to be able to overcome the Lions? I mean, what's your game plan? Are you going to, how are you going to, approach this season towards trying to win the division?
Well, here's the funny thing. Smash, like you say, he beat me 2 times in a row, and I beat the Lions 2 times in a row, and we split with Priest. So, with our division, it's all about who get hot towards the end of the season, because we all suck at the beginning, and then toward the end, someone catch fire and get into the playoff. And so that's the whole thing. We just got to be consistent and win games that we're not supposed to win. Like when we beat Dallas, that was a big upset, man. No one thought we were going to go in Dallas and beat them. So we got a good team. We got a good approach on offense and defense. We just got to execute.
Good stuff, man.
Well, Smash, good luck in season 82. Whoa. It's fun to kind of watch how you build your team. I love this rivalry.
Hey, you goddamn say Smash.
I'm not Smash. You see, I'm on. You got me all confused.
Damn, Nate, you about to make me have to come in the wall and control these sticks right now in the middle of the night.
No, don't come do that, man. I'm a little fella. I love what I was trying to say was I love the rivalry between you and Smash. But Duvall, good luck in season 82. Good luck in the North, and let's get over that 9-7, 8-8 hump, and let's win this division.
Hey, we guaranteeing the division this year.
We got a guarantee.
All right.
Well, there you have it, friends. That is Mr. Duvall with the Minnesota Vikings. And, man, he's doing it. And a really good rivalry there with Smash now. And I'd love I think 00 might be at work. I'd love to hear from him because, I've got to actually meet 00. And he's been with me the longest here for most of the 22 years that we've been in existence. And so, 00 is going to just quietly lay in the back of the weeds, let those 2 guys beat each other up, and he's going to try to steal his 3rd division title in a row here.
I will say, I think it's funny. Those 2 of them gave a lot of respect to DBL as a guy. He played my division for my first year I was here, and he is a tough opponent to play. And I think it's, I love seeing that rivalry out there. I would love to have Priest on. I know Priest would love to be on. But we do have Colin wait whenever you want another caller, Nate. He said he does have it figured out now. But that, man, NFC North, if they're not anything else, man, they are the most entertaining division I think we have here.
Let's do it. Let's bring you on Mr. Colin. Go ahead and unmute yourself, my friend.
Let's see.
I don't have it in front of me.
Can you unmute him?
I can. Yeah.
I don't. Okay.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
Actually, I cannot. I can mute him, but I
So I know how to mute people, but I never know how to unmute people.
Oh, he's talking.
It looks like
he's muted though. He's got a big mute sign right next to him, and I cannot unmute.
Trying to see. I don't know if there's a. I'm 2 picks away.
Oh, there he goes. I think I got him undone now.
There he is.
Mr.
You guys
Collins,
can hear me?
we got you this time. Mr. Colin, our board member who takes care of all of our history, all of our records, and even this year he was breaking records. So, Mr. Colin, welcome to the show, my friend.
All right. Thanks for having me. I'm going to do my best to follow Smash Into Wall.
Well, season 82 is here. The Panthers have always been a really intriguing team. When you're hot, and then when you're not, the struggles are real. Very seldom are you going to be an 8-8 team. You're either going to be, that 6, 7, 8, win team that's beating playoff teams at the end, or you're right there as that 12 and 13 win team. So, where did things kind of go sideways in season 81, and what did you learn about your team?
Things didn't go sideways in season 81. Season 81 was all about DJ Moore. Mission accomplished.
Which you
on
were
to season 82.
Very, very, that mission accomplished is a perfect way to say that.
So, yeah, I mean, we're on to, looking to mix it up in season 82. Definitely won't be as much focus on number 12.
Well, what did you learn about your team? I mean, of course, you have a really good receiver who broke all the records in the world, but what else did you learn about that team?
I mean, not much. I mean, I think I'm kind of the same Madden player. I mean, when I'm in the zone, offensively, mixing things up. I'm going to put points on the board. Defensively, the focus is always stopping the run and just stay a Hail Mary on third down.
Well, we just moved into round 7, but there's definitely some transition going on with the Panthers. So talk about what were your plans as you moved into the re-sign phase and the free agent phase, and what were some of the goals you wanted to achieve?
Definitely wanted to pick up at least one key piece in the offseason free agency. Didn't really, didn't move the needle much. Dropped Cam Newton and replaced him with Andrew Luck. Had Luck for 4. Yeah, he's my guy. I've had him for all of M17. Had him for 2 seasons last year, and reunited again.
So, are we happy with what we were able to accomplish, or do we feel like Luck is the rest of this Madden solution, or just a short-term fix?
Probably 2 to 4. Hoping to get 4 seasons out of him. 2 is definitely realistic. Maniac didn't make it easy. He made me pay. Smart move on his end.
Can I skip the Broncos? Is the Broncos one of those teams?
Yes,
okay.
You can skip them.
Well, talk about your draft. Your team. Now that you got Andrew Luck, you got the running back position. You got the receiver position. The defense is getting a little bit older. But what was kind of your goals as you moved into the draft, and how do you feel about it?
Well, I didn't pick until the 4th round.
That's right. You were one of the teams who fed.
I made a few trades.
The Seattle Seahawks monster.
Yeah, he had my 2nd and 3rd round pick, which was 19th of the round. So it's not. Last year I gave him my 2nd. That ended up being number 3 overall. Frank Clark.
Real talk, real quick though. Do you not like to draft? Because I heard you even say after this draft you're going to be getting rid. Like as soon as this is over, you're going to be getting rid of next year's picks. Like, is this something you don't enjoy doing, or like what's kind of the strategy there?
No, I've always enjoyed drafting. As most of you know, I also play in the NBC and the Madden Ballers Club. And just decided this year that I had the 2 leagues. I was going to try and trade picks in one league for known commodities and then assemble picks in the other league. So that's what I've done in the OMFL. I've stuck to the plan. Haven't drafted until the 4th in the OMFL. And then on the flip side, in the NBC, I'm sitting on 6 picks in the first 3 rounds.
Nice.
Went ahead and got traded my first this year for Jamal Adams, safety from the Jets. Great player, hoping I can keep him long term. And then picked up a much needed defensive end from Seattle and Frank Clark.
Frank Clark is a great player here and is going to do really well for you. But
very solid.
Overall, how do you feel about your offseason, and what are the expectations for season 82?
I think the expectations for season 82, I want to combine 11 games in the first 2 seasons. I think I'm going to try and match that this season.
What's it going to take? The Falcons are pretty loaded. They look like they're going to be bouncing back. The Bucs are always going to be a tough battle. So what's it going to take for your team to hit that 11-win mark?
Just take a deep breath of the line of scrimmage, see what the defense has given me, call an audible if needed. After Matt's been out for 4 months, and last week I finally decided to change the audibles in my custom playbook. Hopefully that'll pay some dividends.
Changing audibles does help.
Yeah. So, yeah, just mix it up. Not focusing on DJ Moore. I know I lost games to you and Maniac last year, where I had the ball as the time was expiring, and forced it to DJ Moore, and both of you guys got the game-ending interception. You knew exactly where the ball was going, so it was no mystery.
There was very little mystery in it. Well, look, I always super appreciate everything that you do here. You're quiet at times, but you play such an important role here. And our games between you and I always seem to go down to the wire. They're always really fun games. So I'm gonna turn it over to my two guys and let them ask you some questions.
All right, thank you, Nate.
Colin, I'm pretty interested to see how you handle you and when Luck you were at the Colts. Was it, I think, maybe 2 Maddens ago or two sessions ago? You were pretty dominant. I mean, you gave me one of my worst ass whoopings I ever got in this league with the Colts. I'm pretty interested to see what you do with Luck, and like I said, with Luck, and I know Cam pretty similar, overall wise, but they are 2 different players. But Luck, man, just brings it. I mean, I know he's a lot more accurate than Newton is. I don't think he has the cannon Newton has on his arm, and he's not quite as – I think the mobility is pretty close, but not quite as mobile. I'm interested to see how you're going to spread the ball with Luck this year. I know you said you're not going to feed Moore as much as you did last year. But I'll tell you what, I played Moore that one game, and I tried to stop him. My whole thing was trying to stop him, and he had 180 yards for halftime. And you weren't throwing picks. It was good passes. So I'm interested to see what you do with Luck, and maybe you tell us a little bit how you plan on if you're going to change how you're going to change things up. I know you want to give too much information out with 2 rivals on the show with me, but I'm all ears. I'm interested to see what you want to do.
Just read the defense. I mean, last year, a lot of the time, it would I'd drop back and just focus on him, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter who was using, where the defenders were. The ball was going to 12. And, this year, I've just won the toilet ball. Thought I played 3 really good games, and the emphasis there in all those games was spread it around, get more balanced with the run game. I think last year, C.J. McCaffrey went out, and that just made, harpoon my season.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Go ahead, Maniac. Ask your rival a question now.
Yeah, I know, man. That it didn't matter in every game that we played. I'm all like sitting here and I'm trying like, all right, I know he's going to go to Moore, and so I would try to double team, and if I could, I'd triple and quadruple team the dude, but I don't think it would be any good because he is so quick off the line. He's always open, and I don't even know. It was so difficult playing against you and stuff because you're so good passing the ball and stuff. I did bait you a couple times, and I did get you to throw a couple of picks here and there and stuff. But overall, man, you got one of the best passing offenses in the league, and I'm really worried to be honest, in the same division, with you and stuff. You really start going away from just feeding more all game long and to actually really putting a full game plan in. So it's kind of scary, to be honest. But how did it feel to actually set those kind of records and stuff with Moore?
It's nice. It was. I wasn't getting anything else out of my season last year with McCaffrey out. It's. I know those numbers will never get topped, so it'd be nice to always look every once in a while. And then thankfully, I got these DJ Moore gifts. I can always pop out on you guys every now and again. Thank the good Lord, those exist.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can't wait to see actually this next season. No, I'm lying. I'm really scared to see it.
I always look forward to our games. Maniac, it's always tough. I mean, I never feel good going in. I mean, Nate as well. And then knowing the Falcons are going to bring it. Although I'm not scared of those corners.
I wish I was not scared. I am petrified, and I'll openly admit it. Yeah, look, the NFC South is much more improved, and it's going to be tremendous with Luck and Goff and what the Falcons have done. And then Maniac just plays amazing defense. It's going to be one of the toughest divisions, as it has been for a very long time, especially when Dwayne was there. And yeah, it's just going to be a really interesting season. Luck, I think, adds such that sneaky run element. I know that Dwayne would just get under my skin so bad with that when you call the perfect play and you have everything shut down, and then Luck goes for 25 on a 3rd and 9, and it's just breaks your back, right? And so Luck is going to add that dimension there. And so, yeah, I'm just excited for your Panthers and excited to see what you do and ready to have some more really great games. So thanks for being part of the 82 Draft Show. And, yeah, good luck for your Panthers all but 2 times a year next season.
All right. Thanks for having me on. Good luck to you guys.
Thanks, Colin.
All right. Take care.
And there you have it, Mr. Colin of the Carolina Panthers, our board member who takes care of our history and our records, make sure that we have everything recorded and updated. And he also does all the awards, which is a big undertaking every single season. So I do appreciate all his hard work. And man, we've had a lot of picks coming here soon. They're coming kind of fast and furious now. Some guys that I had my eye on are starting to fly off the board, and we're getting to the end, guys. Do we have any more callers that want to call in?
I haven't had anybody yet.
Okay.
Dawson you are in the boys, Dawson, if you want to jump in and, if you haven't had too much eggnog yet, we'll got to leave this. Actually, more eggnog makes you talk more.
Yeah,
so.
I hope that he had tons of eggnog.
But if you're on there, Dawson, you can unmute yourself. I just got off the phone with him. We were doing some inner Arkansas scouting.
Why
is my controller off? That's frustrating. Well, tell me, what do you guys think? This has been a good draft, a very, very deep draft. Again, I think, I know it's been the longest, the biggest run on quarterbacks in any OMFL draft ever. And just kind of, what do you guys think about the draft overall? I think it's been good. It seems to be a lot of participation. Still 5 guys hanging on with us at 10 o'clock at night in the 7th round of a Madden draft. We had upwards of low 20s early in the day. Just been a good draft overall. And just, what are you guys' thoughts?
Well, before you, Clyde just drafted a 77 overall wide receiver in the 7th round.
It's crazy.
Which that speaks volumes. This draft, I think, if you did your homework right, you can get some good guys. I mean, I'm speaking from a guy who didn't do as good a homework as some of them. I'm not a draft wizard by any means, but that's a hell of a pick right there. I think it's been a good deep draft. I think, like I said, you've had guys get quick to start guys late. Second half of the draft. You do have Clyde and your longtime friend 00 both wanted to get on to talk, by the way. But I think it's been a good draft.
Well, let's bring 00 on first. We'll save Clyde to wrap up this show. 00, go ahead and unmute yourself, my friend.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Mr. 00, one of the few guys that I actually got to hang out with when I was in Detroit. So we got to meet each other for the first time. My longtime buddy, he and I played thousands of games probably. Yeah, it's been awesome to really become his friend, and it's funny that I've known him almost as long as I've known my wife. So over 20 years we've known each other, and we came to get a good, strong friendship. And so now that I'm done putting him over, let's talk about your season. 2 NFC
Obviously,
North
I get no respect.
No respect.
No respect here at all.
2 back-to-back NFC North championships. The Vikings, as you heard earlier, felt very robbed by you. So talk about it.
Yeah, well, I guess I just get lucky according to them.
Do you guys not hear me?
I don't.
Oh, he's unmuted. I can hear him. I don't know why you can't hear him.
I can hear. I can hear him also.
I can hear him now.
Oh, there we go. Well, talk about it. What do you feel about the North and what those guys have to say about it?
I think I just let them keep beating themselves up. Hopefully this season, when I get to the playoffs, I don't play Mo. For some reason, I just like throwing to his linebackers.
I think everybody likes to throw to his linebackers. So just talk about your season. Like, you did make the playoffs again. You did get bounced again by the Seahawks, but that's a tough matchup. What'd you learn about your team, though?
So I need to learn how to pass still. I still can't do it. As you see, Mr. Stafford's going to be on the bench this year. I was part of that big run, taking my quarterback.
Well, before we get there, what about re-signs? When we got to re-sign phase and the free agency, I don't remember. Of course, it's hard for me to keep up with everything. That we made a list the other day just to kind of give people a peek behind the scenes, and there are over 50 things that I have to do every off season. And so, yeah, it's hard for me to keep up with trades and free agency, but what was your plan going into re-signs and free agency, and what did you accomplish?
My re-signs, I basically only took my younger guys. I let a few of the older vets walk that wanted way too much money. Like a 72 overall, wanting $5-6 million, couldn't do that. I went after some running backs in the free agency. They all got taken from me last second, so I drafted 2 now. I drafted a quarterback, so we're going that route. I'm going to have the highest paid backup quarterback in the league.
We'll talk a little bit about your draft. What was the plan going into the draft, and how do we feel like it came out?
Going in, I was going all offense. Coming out, I drafted 1 defensive player. Very unlike me, but I had to score. I can't score.
Yeah, I think I made that comment early in the draft. I was like, he's going all offense, and he's really trying to rebuild this offense. So do you think you did that? Are you happy with your picks?
Yeah, I'm happy. I got a power back. I got my quarterback. 7th round here, I just got another halfback, 74 overall in the 7th round. Got about the same speed, 87 speed, 88 speed, somewhere in there. A little more agility, acceleration, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, my pick's coming up, so I'm going to let my guys take over and let them ask you some questions.
Alrighty.
Well, to start it off, I do miss playing when you were the Panthers. I really enjoyed our games back then.
I hate to say it, I miss that Panther team.
Those were good days. I know you've been around a lot longer than I have, but you do play the most, at least high-profile, energetic, exciting division when it comes to rivalries. The only one we ain't heard from is Priest tonight, and we know Priest will talk smack with the best of them too. So how do you feel? Do you like playing in that division with that group of people you play with right there? Because like I said, y'all all play a hard-nosed style of Madden. Tell me more about your division, how you like playing against these guys.
It's frustrating. It's just frustrating. It's like Duvall said. 1 minute they're running, next minute they're passing. It's just crazy, back and forth, back and forth. Everyone talks about Priest running with his halfbacks and all that. They'll come on and throw with the best of them. You just have to make him let him make his mistake when he throws.
Right.
Duvall, he's got a very balanced offense. You don't know if he's running, passing. He can do both well. He's probably got the best defense in the division. So it's a hard one to play. Haven't played Smash much, so we'll get that going this year. I think we played once this year. That was it. So
go ahead, Maniac. Go ahead and set him off. Let's hear it.
Sorry, I was making my pick right quick. All right. Yeah, I don't know if you got to listen to all the talk from the other guys and stuff, but definitely
jumped on late.
He jumped on late. Well, it was one of the most entertaining 15 to 20 minutes that I've ever had on the draft show, and it's always entertaining, but tonight was just hilarious. And but these guys were fired up. Smash he has already been saying that he's taking this thing this next season. So, what do you got to say about that?
I say I was told that by 3 teams last season, and I got another banner to hang. Wild card loss.
Love it.
Wow, that wild card loss did come with a division championship.
So That's right.
That is something to be proud of. And trust me, I'm just like you too. I got bounced out in the wild card twice, but you know what? I got 2 division titles, and that's more than I did all of last Madden. So
this is true.
Congratulations on a
thank you.
great season 81, and we're looking for some big things. I think, look, you've always played great defense, and if you could get out of your own head about the offense, I think that you'll get that figured out, and you'll be just fine. So,
can we just eliminate linebackers?
Just take them off the field.
Just take their hands away.
I am. Well, that doesn't even work for Seattle.
Yeah, I know.
One-handed linebacker.
I know.
Still getting picked. So, look,
I know.
I'm wishing you lots of health, lots of luck. You're my buddy. I'm looking forward to the next time I get to go to Detroit. Maybe we can hang out a little bit more.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
You guys all have a good holiday.
Mr. Douglas.
All right, you too, man.
The Detroit Lions, a longtime owner, probably outside of my Saints, the longest tenured owner. He hasn't always had the Lions, but he's probably had the Lions more than any other team, just like I've had the Saints more than any other team. So I think we got 4 more picks here, but one more guest, Mr. Clive Vertigo, Mr. Jason. Go ahead and unmute yourself, buddy, and let's bring him in. One of the most entertaining guys I've ever got to meet in this league. He plays some shooter games with us and really gotten to know him. He's moved over to the Jets last season, and we've gotten over 2 seasons ago. That's right, as we moved over to Madden 19. So, Mr. Jason, welcome to the Season 82 Draft Show. I thought he was unmuted. I heard somebody unmuted.
There he is.
There we go.
Am I unmuted?
You are unmuted, my friend.
Hey, how y'all doing, gentlemen?
We are doing good, buddy. So season 81 is in the books. How did you do? How did your team do? What did you learn about the Jets?
So, this is what happened, okay? What had happened was, this is how every good story starts. What had happened was, I learned that every good playoff team knows how to run the ball, and that was something that I was severely lacking. So, of course, I decided to focus on defense, right? But every good team knows how to run the ball, and that was something that I just could not figure out how to do. So that was something that I needed to address, at least during the season.
Well, what did we do? As we moved into the offseason, as we moved into the re-sign period, what was kind of the plan, and what were you aiming to accomplish?
I knew that I had some days of reckoning coming with my offensive lineman. My import is coming up on re-sign this season. I knew that I was going to sign him, be it hook or crook, and I needed to free up some salary space. So I decided to move Jamal Adams. As much as he was an integral part of my defense, I knew I needed to make sure that I positioned myself to at least be able to sign my import, so that way I can at least be stronger in the offensive line.
Yep. So as we moved through free agency and you went to the draft, did we have a lot of picks? Did we have a few picks? What was what were your needs going into the draft, and how do we feel about it?
Yeah, so moving Jamal Adams gave me a couple more draft spots. So I looked at shoring up a little bit of defense on that end, because if anyone looked at Daddy Leagues and looked at the stats, I was ranked last, or at least in the bottom 3 in defensive pass rating. So my team was atrocious. Even though I love to user cornerback and call myself skilled position player when it comes to that, let's be honest, I was not that good. So I needed to get a little bit of help on defense. 5 of my top 7 picks were all on defense. And I'm hoping that these players will actually pan out and prove to be ready for week 1.
Well, guys, I'm going to open it up to you and let you guys ask him some questions.
Well, I'm interested. We were just talking to Kevin earlier, and we talked to Josh, and but no comp tonight. How do you look at your division? We talked about Josh say he's trying to bring something different with the option. We know Kev is coming off AFC Championship berth, and we know no comp. He's kind of in and out. We see him in the chat every once in a while, but he's a solid player, and he's probably been one of the most frustrating players for me to play against this Madden. No, it's not a knock. Just he's getting me the most trouble. How do you feel about your division as a whole compared to you?
Yeah, so I'm not Smash. I'm not Duvall. I'm not going to get on the grandstand and beat my chest. But look at here. I'm winning the division. This is my year. I said that last year. Look, last year was last year. Let's not focus on the past. Let's focus on the future. My Jets are postured to be a competitive team this season. I think we are far more competitive than we were in the past. We have a far better and stronger offensive line. We have a more elite, a faster, a more responsive defensive front end. And I think it's going to show in all of our division play. Look, no disrespect to any of my division opponents, but they're sorry compared to me, and I'm going to show it. Okay? Hey, look, this is no disrespect. Every good saying starts with no disrespect, but no disrespect, but I'm better than them.
Well, there we have it. Mr. Maniac, any questions for our buddy Jason?
No, I'm just gonna leave it at that and just tell him that I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do over there in the AFC East. And I wish him best of luck because he is definitely a baller, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
Yeah, good luck to you, Jason. Man, you're one of my favorite owners here. And yes, I tell everybody that, but that's just my little gimmick, so don't worry about it. But look, I'm wishing you a ton of luck. The Jets need to be one of those powerhouse teams. Just a couple of seasons ago, Mo Deli had them in the Super Bowl. And so, look, we think that you're the next guy that can take them there. It's still weird to me to see the Tennessee Titans not be your team and belong to you, but still getting used to it. And wishing you a ton of luck and much love sent your way, man.
Yeah, and I like to take a quick opportunity to say thank you for that. I feel like the gauntlet has been dropped. The standard has been set. The Jets are due for a little bit of prosperity, and I hope to take them there. But also, I like to say to everyone in the league, you've been doing a great job of working on your teams, and hopefully we see more competitive owners get into the postseason, get into positions where they can actually be competitive into the Super Bowl, and this is looking good for the league. This is all goodness. So, all the smack talk aside, this is all goodness, and I love it.
Yeah, it's tons of good things, man. Thank you so much again. Good luck in season 82. We're looking for big things from you.
Thank you.
Good luck, buddy.
And there we have it, Mr. Jason, Mr. Clyde of the New York Jets. I know. What's the word? What's that stuff called? Because I have a gallon of it sitting in my icebox.
Eggnog.
Our completely
eggnog
drunken Redskins owner, who I am happy to say I can still talk to, and who is still here, because there definitely was some shaky moments there where we weren't sure that was going to be the case, but he's still here. Thankfully, his best friend is one of my right-hand guys, and I got him to talk him into staying. So, Mr. Dawson of the Washington Redskins, you can unmute yourself, my friend.
Can you hear me?
Now we got you.
Yeah, there's no eggnog tonight.
Oh, you guys are going to make me throw up with that stuff. But
just Seagrams.
There you go.
Mr. Dawson, I know season 81 did not treat you right, but what did you learn about your team?
Redskins suck, and I suck. Overall, I mean, it is up and down. I think I want to say last season I ended at 5-11, and this past season was 5-11. So nothing different. So I did make some moves. I feel like I made a lot of moves. Hopefully, it's in the positive instead of the negative. And I feel like the draft actually went good for me this time for once. So hopefully it's a no turning things around and looking out as far as a positive outlook.
Well, talk about it. What did you learn about your team in season 81? What were your plans, your goals going into the re-sign phase, and as you moved into free agency?
Yeah, throughout the season, I made a big trade, I guess, in division with the Cowboys, and as you can see, who made out in on that. Dak.
Oh, you're another one of the ones who
Oh,
helped those teams. Okay,
I
thank
did.
you, sir.
No, well, no. Okay, the trade was laid out as I give. I think I could be wrong. It's been a while. It was a second round pick for my safety that was ending contract for Dak, and maybe like a third round, something like that. So I mean, I felt like I was only giving up like a second round from last year. But what Massimo did was he changed it up where he didn't have to rely on getting a quarterback early, and he got a quarterback late, and he got Archer, and it's kind of like domino effect, and I think I did contribute to that. So, but it kind of sucks. But it is what it is. You just got to move on with it, and I do like Dak as a player. I know we had this topic last time, but he did play for Mississippi State. I do like him as a Cowboy. I mean, he's up there. He's not that star elite quarterback yet, but he is getting up there. But with that being said, he is available. He is on the block since I did go for after Cam Newton in the free agency. And as far as free agency, I did have some money to move around. Nobody really wanted Alex Smith from me, except Bill. But then Bill realized he didn't have any money, so I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I better keep him then." But then, and I got a few, I guess, backup roles, and I did get what was his name, Danny Trevathan. I got him, moved him to outside linebacker. He's pretty good in zone, so I'm hoping that work out. And overall, just some depth players that I can rely on as far as if a player gets hurt, I can go for that. And then the free agency, or excuse me, the draft kind of put the icing on the cake, and hopefully give me a positive outlook going into season 81.
Well,
or 82.
Talk about your just kind of plan for season 82. Like, what is it going to take for your team to be successful?
Limit the turnovers and also force a little turnovers here and there, because or at least some get my opponent in tough field position, because I believe I was last in sacks, and that's never good playing against some top talented guys that can actually play with the quarterback and move around and throw it to the receiver and all that. So that kind of was a big dinger. And then also with Dak, I mean, even if I could have Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback, I'm still going to throw at least an average of 2 interceptions a game. So I need to limit that, and I think that's maybe that's a few other guys. They kind of have to limit that. But for me, speaking as perspective, as far as the last few seasons, when I see somebody using a linebacker, and I see them going to the right, and I have another a route going the other way, and I say, oh, I can beat him. But if I beat him, that's going to hurt his confidence. But it's always the other way around, where I throw it to the other guy and it's a pick. It's a user lurk, and it's like, oh, well, crap. I mean, that just gave him good field goal range, and that just changed a few things around. I just need to be, I guess, more conscious of what I'm doing and what I'm calling, basically, on that end.
Guys, I'm going to open it up to you and let you guys ask him some questions. There better be a hard-hitting question from the best friend.
Dawson, I just want to, running the rock, making, kids, keep it simple, stupid. Not calling Dakota stupid, just want everybody to know that, just my philosophy. Dakota had way better grades than me in school and in college. But, I just want to see that Redskins team, that you play in a really tough division. You got the Giants, who are one of the best defensive teams in the league. One of the most frustrating players to play just because he takes everything away from you. You have Massimo, who is an offensive juggernaut, and a very underrated defense, which led him to the playoffs. I mean, he made two really high-powered offenses turn the ball over a lot last season playoffs. And the Eagles, who are kind of a mystery team to me, I don't know Savante Rowell. He had a lot to work. He didn't have a lot to work with. The Eagles, they were in a bad cap situation. But how do you see yourself in your division? I know you've had hit and miss with those division mates of yours. How do you look at yourself, and how do you look at your division?
Well, I mean, I like to be optimistic and positive, like all the other callers, but I got to be real with myself. I mean, Massimo, he's basically just reloading with that Cowboys team. Apparently, the Madden devs like the Cowboys because they give everybody those star devs and give that Vanderlist guy, a linebacker that can just jump like 10 feet in the air, grab it, use the lurk, and just various other players like that. But then you got the Giants with Odell and then Barkley and all them. His time is coming up. He's going to resign Barkley. So this is his season, and this is for him to turn around, and I can see him doing it. So it's gonna be tough competition. Same thing for Savante. I played him, I think, twice since he's joined back, and it's both been tough games. And then just with him, I think he got a quarterback and a running back early in the draft. I'm not sure how they were or how they are, but it's going to be tough. I want to try to stay optimistic about this and say that I can at least grab a wild card win. I mean, a playoff team or one of those spots. But then again, if you look on the NFC West, you got both the Moes, and then you got Big Hurt, and then you look over in the NFC South, then you got Nate, you got Maniac, and then you got Dritch, coming back off, with those started players, and even on everybody else is tough. You got to win those crucial games, and I guess when it really comes down to it, that's going to be the key for me to win this season. If not, I'll just move on to the next season, and I guess I can try to go for a top 5 pick next season.
Maniac, you got any questions for our good buddy Dawson?
Oh, sorry, I was preoccupied. No, Dawson, I'm so glad you stuck around, like Nate said, and I'm really glad that you didn't leave us, because you're a very vital part of this community and our team. And just it's a joy to be around you each and every day in the chat. What was the on your team? What was the thing that you struggled with the most? You thought this last season, was it running, defense, passing?
I guess you can say everything. If you want to be real with it. No, I guess if you want to key it down to something, it would have to be my passing. Just my passing attack is awful. I mean, I see something, and maybe that's just the way I react to things, is that I kind of plan ahead. I kind of think what the other opponent is going to call, and try to call against that. And maybe I'm just overthinking a lot of things, and that's probably really boiled down to it. But overall, hopefully I can just kind of just keep aware of what I'm calling, as far as is it too predictable? Am I calling when I see guys going 8 in the box and I got to dive in the middle? I mean, it's going to get I'm not going to go anywhere with it. So when the guys are constantly going 8 in the box, or even not even constantly going 8 in the box, a man defense 8 in the box, and you just gotta kind of read the defense and then move on from there. You gotta be willing to change your ways, and I guess that's kind of what I was failing to do, was I called a play, I ran it no matter what. But you also got to rely on those audibles and keep those the defensive players on their edge.
Awesome.
Everybody else has said that, and look, you're super vital here, and you know how much you mean to me and mean to this community. And so I'm pulling for you. I'm hoping that you can get a bunch of wins under your belt, because look, at the end of the day, winning is the most fun, and no one likes to go on long losing streaks. Trust me, all of Madden 18 was long losing streaks for me. So I know it's tough, but I do appreciate you hanging in there with us, and hopefully you're in here for much longer time. So thanks so much for being a part of the board, being a part of kind of that team that helps make everything happen around here. And I'm really pulling for health and good luck in season 82 for you.
Yeah, thanks, and everybody that's listening and everybody that's going to listen, good luck, and hopefully the Redskins will be on top of the NFC East.
There you have it, Mr. Dawson of the Washington Redskins and our board here in the OMFL. Gentlemen, that's going to do it. We are at the very end. No more callers, no more draft. We are going to be advancing here as soon as I get off and log off of here to week 2. And every 10 minutes we'll go to the next week. We'll pause on week 4. Let guys do their free agency pickups and play their week 4 game. And then tomorrow night, we will be into seasons 82. So it's been a great draft show. Thank you both for making time to be here and be on the show. I know it's not easy. We have significant others and we have families, and it's not easy to ask them to give up an entire night, but you guys did it, and this is always my favorite thing that we do. And it's one of the shorter draft shows we've ever had. It's a little over 3 hours, and that was with us, waiting a good, 20 minutes after the draft was over for callers. So, really good time. I appreciate you both, and good luck to both of you. Lots of health, and let's have some fun in season 82.
Let's do it.
Let's get it rolling.
All right, here we go, guys. I will go advance us to week 2, and then 10 minutes, and we'll see you in week 4. We'll see you at Press Pass Live, which will not happen this weekend because I am out, but it will happen next week, and it'll give us something to talk about because we don't have a whole lot to talk about, but maybe we can pull something off on like Sunday night with some prediction show, a little shorter show that we could possibly do. So good luck to everybody, and we will see you in season 82.
Later, guys.
Later.